Chapter 1183. Danger descended upon them once again. The Battle King no longer cared about the god-crafting envoys and the others. At this moment, his speed was extremely fast, and very quickly, he arrived behind Fong Ping. The shattered small world reappeared. Suppress! The Battle King, who had just suffered a loss at the hands of the god-crafting envoy, was also furious. The god-crafting envoy had even destroyed his golden body, so he was definitely no match for this old antique. At this moment, he could only vent his anger on Fong Ping. When the small world descended, Fong Ping was slightly at the edge. At this moment, a strange origin chi gushed into Fong Ping's source world. It belonged to an invader. This origin chi turned into a door, as if it wanted to block the great Tao. However, Fong Ping's path was too broad. There did not seem to be enough Genesis chi. It formed a door that was more than 10 meters tall and 5 to 6 meters wide, blocking the main road. However, Fong Ping's main road was so wide that it did not have much effect on it. Behind them, the Do Wang frowned slightly. He found it strange. Up ahead, Fong Ping's gaze was peculiar. Was it sealed like this? I know. He finally understood how the sky-sealing progeny sealed their origin source. It formed a gate, blocking the entrance of the great Tao, not allowing the source energy to permeate and amplify it. In an ordinary impasse realm, the main road was only 5 or 6 meters wide. Of course, there were people who would be a little wider. However, Fong Ping was clearly not one of them. What was a few meters wide door sealing a path that was thousands of meters wide? Fong Ping was speechless. To think that he had worried for so long. So this was the seal. However, the other party was indeed powerful, directly penetrating into his origin world. This was comparable to Fong Ping's ability. Fong Ping had also broken into someone else's Tao. At this moment, Fong Ping's heart skipped a beat. This lineage's method was quite interesting. Most of the time, he was unable to sever the great Tao of others. The great Tao was too strong and sturdy. How could it be so easy to sever it? But if he were to directly enter the source and seal it, Fong Ping's heart stirred slightly. At this moment, he did not care about the seal anymore. He tilted his head and shouted, "That Do Tian, can you teach me your lineage's source sealing technique?" Courting death. The Do King shouted and increased his speed. He had only brushed past Fong Ping. It was not too surprising that he could not seal Fong Ping earlier. However, Fong Ping dared to provoke him. They looked down on him. Yes, from his point of view, Fong Ping was obviously looking down on the source sealing technique, thinking that it did not seal him, so he was deliberately provoking it. Fong Ping said hurriedly, "Don't misunderstand, I'm serious. This cultivation technique is not bad, how about teaching it to me? My talent is extraordinary, I won't disgrace your cultivation method. Fong, come out and have a chat, okay? Teach me the origin sealing technique, and I'll make your lineage's cultivation technique flourish. You'll also have face, right? If I kill a few Heavenly King powerhouses, others will think, oh, isn't this the heaven-sealing lineage's cultivation technique? So powerful? Stronger than an emperor-based cultivation method? At that time, who would look down on you? The people under you are too trashy. To be honest, they are a disgrace to you. Do you think these people can represent the sky-sealing progeny? Fong, teach me. I promise to make good use of it and make you look good. Bastard! The Heavenly Fighting King bellowed angrily, and the small world pressed down once again. There was a loud boom. Fong Ping's movements were slightly sluggish. In the source world, the gateway suddenly expanded and spread out, forming a powerful barrier. 10 meters wide, 20 meters wide, 100 meters wide. When it had spread to a width of 100 meters, Fighting King, who was chasing from behind, saw that Fong Ping's speed was still extremely fast and was slightly taken aback. The great path was so wide? When he sealed ordinary paragons, he was extremely fast, sealing them in the blink of an eye. For example, Wu Quishan just now was considered not bad among the paragons, but he was also suppressed in the blink of an eye. Fang Ping had the combat strength of a saint. Of course, he did not underestimate Fang Ping. But he had consumed a lot of origin energy. This origin sealing technique also consumed origin energy and mentality. Ordinary emperor-level powerhouses would have been sealed by him. But now Fang Ping was still fine. Seal. The heavenly fighting king bellowed angrily again. He did not believe that he, a heavenly king, could not seal Fang Ping. Fang Ping's speed was not slow now. He needed time to catch up. Right now, wherever his mentality spread, he could seal Fang Ping. This way, Fang Ping's speed would definitely decrease, and he would definitely die. In the source world, the gateway grew stronger again. 200 meters, 300 meters, 500 meters. When it had reached a width of 500 meters, the heavenly fighting king could not help but want to curse. He could not see how Fang Ping's source world was, but he knew how much origin energy he had consumed. Even this did not seal successfully? How strong was this fellow's great path? There were many reasons why the seal failed. Maybe Fang Ping's great path was too wide, or maybe the source was stable and difficult to seal completely, or maybe Fang Ping himself was destroying and struggling. But no matter what, it showed that Fang Ping was very powerful in the source world. This fellow, was he really just a true god? As for Fang Ping, he breathed a sigh of relief again. I don't even bother to use the saint order to seal your gateway because you're too useless. Until now, you've only formed a gateway that is less than 1,000 meters wide. Seal me? My great path is nearly 10,000 meters. How are you going to seal it? You've only sealed 1/10 of the gateway, and I still have 9/10 left. There's no difference. I can still use the source if I need it. I don't even bother to destroy your gateway. Fang Ping breathed a sigh of relief this time. He shouted again, You can't do it. You're too useless. Seal, are you really not going to consider teaching me? Look, a heavenly king failed to seal me, a paragon. He's obviously useless. You're counting on this kind of person to fight for luck? Isn't that a joke? The heavenly fighting king was furious. Behind him, the overlord's expression was also unfriendly, but he was somewhat speechless. What was wrong with eldest senior brother? Eldest senior brother's source world had already descended and started to seal Fang Ping. Why did Fang Ping look fine? Could it be another longevity sword? But it was obviously different from the longevity sword. Whether he could use origin chi or not, it could still be seen. The great path amplification could also be sensed. Fang Ping was still using the great path amplification. This meant that he was not sealed. Seal! The heavenly king roared again. He did not believe it. He, a dignified heavenly king, could not seal a true god. Yet, he still failed. At this moment, a voice came from the void, chuckling. Heavenly fighting, this is a king of man, a true god who can fight a saint. You've underestimated him. His great path is probably extremely wide. The king path, or even the emperor path. How can the great path not be wide when taking this path? This is the orthodox emperor path that the ancient emperors spoke of. Even 1,000 feet wide won't surprise me. Everyone, including the people who were chasing after them, trembled slightly. 1,000 feet wide? More than 3,000 meters? Was the great path so wide? Even a saint's great path was less than 1,000 meters wide, and this was already considered a top-notch powerhouse. Fang Ping's great path was so wide? One had to know that under normal circumstances, these people could no longer move forward when they reached the heavenly king realm. Only then would they work hard on the great path's width, accumulating it over time and slowly grinding it. How old was Fang Ping? He had only achieved Tao. Was his great path wider than a saint's? Wider than a heavenly king's? The heavenly king was shocked too. Fang Ping's heart tightened slightly. This guy was really paying attention in secret. At this moment, Fong Ping suppressed the palpitation in his heart and laughed. The Heavenly King, is really powerful. You even know this. How about it, consider teaching me the cultivation technique on how to form the sealed gate. You'll definitely be famous later. Interesting. Newborn calves are not afraid of tigers. The Heavenly King chuckled. It's actually not a loss for me to teach you a cultivation technique. However, we'll talk about it after you survive. If you survive, I'll teach you again the next time we meet. That's for sure. Fong Ping was also laughing and joking, calm and composed. The Overlord definitely can't do anything to me. This Heavenly King. Although he's a Heavenly King, he can't seal me. If he wants to kill me, it won't be that easy. Fong Ping laughed again. I've achieved 9 refinements of golden body. My great path advances by leaps and bounds. My physique is incomparably strong. Does he have the confidence to kill me in one move? If he can't kill me, then he has no other moves. The Heavenly King laughed and said slowly, Heavenly King, trap him and seal him. Don't embarrass me anymore. Although his great path is wide, he hasn't gone far after all. His strength isn't strong enough. His origin chi quality isn't high enough. He can't break through your seal. Remember, Heavenly King's seal failed a few times. It was indeed embarrassing enough. Previously, Extermination still wanted to seal Fong Ping. His mentality was higher than Fong Ping's. He could also form the sealed gate and enter Fong Ping's source world. The key was, Extermination could not seal Fong Ping for sure. Even if he exhausted his origin chi, he probably could not form that gigantic gate. At this moment, Extermination was dead. Otherwise, he would also be dumbfounded. Even eldest senior brother with the strength of a Heavenly King could not seal Fong Ping in an instant. If he tried to seal it, Fong Ping would probably have killed him during that gap. The Heavenly King responded, his expression a little ugly. How embarrassing! As the only Heavenly King who had appeared so far, he came in person but could not do anything to Fong Ping. It was simply humiliating. Crack! The void shattered. His saber slashed through 6 heavens, appearing behind Fong Ping in an instant. The distance between them was getting closer and closer. At this moment, he stopped shouting. However, in Fong Ping's source world, the gate was getting wider and wider. 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters. The Heavenly King was also consuming a lot of origin chi to seal it. Now was not the time to fight for anything else but to wash away the humiliation and prove that the Heavenly Sealing Lineage's source sealing technique was really powerful. Previously, Extermination had failed to seal the Longevity Sword. Now, he had failed to seal Fong Ping. If this went on, outsiders might think that the source sealing technique was just SOSO. However, this Tao was truly very strong, alright? The Battle King cursed in his heart. He was truly powerful. Back then, when he fought with the chaotic Heavenly King, the two of them were at the same level. He had even sealed the chaotic Heavenly King. Even though it was only for a short period of time, the chaotic Heavenly King had still suffered at his hands. He had even sealed the main character of the chaotic era, Chaos, and that was something that happened 6,000 or 7,000 years ago. How could he not seal Fong Ping? The portal continued to expand. Fong Ping continued running with all his might. Take your time, I want to see how long it will take you to seal it. When you reach 7,000 meters, I won't be able to retaliate and let you seal me. When the others saw this, they all had strange looks in their eyes, as if they were thinking about something. The God-forging envoy was also a little surprised, and asked curiously, just how wide is this kid's great Tao of origin? The techniques of the sky sealing progeny were not bad. It was not as if there were no Heavenly Kings who had been sealed. Even if Heaven Reverse was slightly weaker than Fong, it shouldn't be to the extent where he couldn't even seal a peerless expert. This could only mean that Fong Ping's great path was wider than he had imagined. The seal did not have much of an effect. Behind them, Wu Quishan was also shocked. Just now, the Battle King had easily sealed him with a blow from a distance. At that time, he knew that this progeny was very difficult to deal with. But now, Fong Ping was running with all his might. He did not feel any difference at all. How monstrous was this kid? At this time, the cat riding the deer got some snacks from somewhere and said while eating, "The liar must be very strong. Look, he can already fight a saint at the peak. It must have a lot to do with the Great Tao." The cat said while eating. He advanced with a ninth refinement mentality. His mentality is strong, but it also has a lot to do with the development of the Great Tao. As soon as these words were said, it woke many people up. The God-forging envoy raised his eyebrows slightly. In the distance, Sky Sword suddenly said, "Back then, it was said that Heaven Exterminating Emperor also advanced with a ninth refinement spiritual consciousness and a ninth refinement golden body. Heaven Exterminating Emperor's physical body was strong, but it let us know the strength of the golden body advancement. But the strength of spiritual consciousness, what is the use? Is it the strength of the origin? Heaven Exterminating Emperor didn't seem to have shown much of the strength of the origin. Although everyone was an enemy, it was obvious that they would not fight easily now. He, the ancient saint, was also curious about this. Everyone knew the benefits of a ninth refinement golden body advancement. Heaven Exterminating Emperor was proof. He, who had a powerful golden body, might not have gone far. However, the other party had become an extreme Tao heavenly emperor. Just because Heaven Exterminating Emperor couldn't defeat him did not mean that he was weaker than him. He might not be able to defeat one of the 9 emperors, but Heaven Exterminating Emperor might not. It was just that he had restrained Heaven Exterminating Emperor. However, Heaven Exterminating Emperor was stubborn and insisted on fighting one-on-one. If it was another person, if it was Zhan or one of the 9 emperors, even if Heaven Exterminating Emperor lost more than he won, he would definitely not lose. Knowing that there was a tiger in the mountain, he still went to the Tiger Mountain. This was Heaven Exterminating Emperor. The God-forging envoy could not be bothered with him and directly sealed off the surrounding space, not letting them listen. At this time, he opened his mouth and said, "The advancement of the ninth refinement spiritual consciousness naturally has many benefits. Although it is not as obvious as the strength of the golden body, many times, the strength of the spiritual consciousness is actually more beneficial than the golden body." The God-forging envoy laughed. First, the width of the road. This concerned the future. The geniuses all thought very far away, and would definitely not only care about what was in front of them. Warriors with strong mental strength would be able to walk more easily in the later stages of the Great Tao. Second, the stability of the source. The source world is strong, but also weak. Once you fight with an expert with strong mental strength, no matter how strong your physical body is, if the other party destroys your source world, you will still die. Therefore, this is the flaw of the Heaven Exterminating Emperor. Third, at this point, the God-forging envoy paused for a moment and said indifferently, "The amplification of the source. Warriors who are not at the ninth refinement actually have a drawback, a very big drawback." Everyone looked at him. The God-forging envoy said indifferently, "That is the problem of the limit. Martial artists who are not at the ninth refinement are almost unable to open up the Great Tao to 3,000 feet wide, and 3,000 feet wide. There will be another change, and that is the vertical increase of the source." This time, the few saints who heard this were stunned. Saint Yue could not help but ask, "Vertical increase?" "That's right." The God-forging envoy smiled lightly. "At 3,000 feet wide, there will actually be an amplification of the source. Do you really think that width is useless? Why is the Emperor so powerful? Because the origin of the Emperor is almost 10,000 feet wide. They may not have advanced from the ninth refinement, but in the later stages, they all broke through the limit and strengthened themselves from another level. And the experts who advanced from the ninth refinement will not be like this. To them, 3,000 feet is not too big of a barrier, so the heaven-exterminating emperor quickly broke through this limit and increased his strength on both sides. This is where his strength lies. These words had some meaning. In the crowd, Protector Wind and Cloud suddenly smiled. Senior God-forging envoy also advanced from the ninth refinement, right? To them, this simple sentence meant that the heaven-exterminating emperor was not the only one who advanced from the ninth refinement. This might include the God-forging envoy. Because the God-forging envoy was the first person to create the clone. His mental strength was very strong, and if it was not strong, it would be difficult for him to control his power and create a divine weapon. The creation of a divine weapon was not a simple matter. Obviously, this person knew a lot about the ninth refinement of the mental strength. 3,000 feet, 10,000 meters wide. There was an amplification. This point, not many people knew because no one broke this limit, and even if they did, they would not bother to say it. Almost all of the 9 emperors had broken it, the heaven-exterminating emperor had broken it, and the other 3 extreme path, venerable emperors. Obviously, the Batian emperor did not, and the other 2 did not know. In the origin path, there was greater progress. How could these people not be strong? At this time, Taoist Wind and Cloud did not ask the God-forging envoy in detail, but frowned slightly. That's not right, right? Has Fang Ping already broken the limit of 3,000 feet? Otherwise, he will not have an amplification in the vertical. The God-forging envoy also frowned, thought for a while and said, "This is not clear. The reason why Fang Ping is so strong should be related to the width. The width is not just a matter of amplification. The more abundant the origin qi, the stronger the endurance. Martial artists of the origin path actually have a lot of limitations. For example, if the battle is too long, it is easy to run out of origin qi. In this way, the origin qi is no longer amplified, and the combat strength will be greatly reduced." Everyone was still puzzled. Fang Ping Avenue was 10,000 meters wide? Was it so scary? In front, Fang Ping, who was accompanying the Battle King, obviously did not know this. If he knew, he would probably scold the God-forging envoy for talking nonsense, who said there was an amplification only when it was 10,000 meters wide. There was clearly an amplification at 1,000 meters. Anyway, he had opened up to more than 1,000 meters in the beginning. Fang Ping had always thought that there would be an amplification above 1,000 meters. Double ninth stage advancement. The first person since ancient times, Fang Ping was actually bragging a little. He actually thought that the 9 emperors might also be a double 9 advancement, but in reality it was really not. At the 9th refinement of the golden body, the flesh was stronger, and it could accommodate more amplification. At the 9th refinement of spiritual consciousness, the mentality was strong, and it could provide more amplification. If the flesh was not strong enough, the origin would naturally not amplify, otherwise there would be a situation where one would explode. A kind of self-regulation of the Tao. Obviously, the others did not understand the special characteristics of the double 9, even Fang Ping himself was not very clear. Moreover, Fang Ping had always felt that a 10,000 meters wide avenue was nothing. At least old Zhang seemed to be so. Although old Zhang was talented, Fang Ping always felt that if old Zhang could do it, then others could do it too. Therefore, he once thought that Heavenly King powerhouses might have a 10,000 meters wide avenue. Obviously, Fang Ping overestimated the others and underestimated him, and old Zhang. Emperor Dao, known as the most orthodox Emperor Dao in the ancient times. Heroes are created by the times. If humans did not have the current crisis, if they did not have the crisis of being surrounded by enemies from all sides, they would not have the unity that they had now. If not for the human powerhouses wholeheartedly fighting for the human race, there would not be today. Too many factors had created the human race of this era. There was no era like this. The powerhouses held up the sky for the weak, and when the weak became strong, they continued to repay the powerhouses and protect the weak. The torch was passed on, the spirit of neo-martial arts. Neo-martial arts was the key to the rise of this human race. The existence of foreign enemies, the powerhouses' sacrifice, and the weak's repayment created an exceptionally different neo-martial arts, created the current human race. There were too many conditions to be fulfilled for Emperor Tao and Emperor Tao. It was also because of this that there were outliers like Fang Ping and Zhang Tao. At this moment, Fang Ping still did not understand and was not clear about this concept. Even Zhang Tao did not really understand it. It was also because he did not understand that he walked this path. If he really understood, he might not be able to take this step. The spirit of neo-martial arts, the selflessness of powerhouses, was too rare, and this needed someone to guide it. It was not something that could be formed overnight. It was passed down from generation to generation, until it reached Fang Ping and Zhang Tao. That was how the current situation came about, and how the human martial artists tacitly agreed that they were a powerhouse, so they should sacrifice for the human race. Because before they became strong, someone sacrificed for them. The first generation who sacrificed selflessly was the most worthy of respect. And this first generation actually came from Suppressing Star City. From Suppressing Star City, 13 Desperation Realm powerhouses. The Desperation Realm powerhouses who guarded the catacombs for hundreds of years, silently suppressing the catacombs for the human race, without asking for anything in return, guarding for hundreds of years. It was also because of them that there were human powerhouses who fought everywhere, sacrificing and contributing as their own responsibility. The predecessors planted the trees, the descendants reaped the shade. When the predecessors set the example, the descendants would feel that it was a matter of course. They should learn and imitate. After 3 generations, habits became natural. Coupled with the pressure of the environment, in the end, this neo-martial arts that should not have existed was formed. Li Xuanxie, Heavenly King. Just as Fang Ping escaped toward the fake sky cemetery, Heavenly King and Zhang Tao rushed to the entrance. When Zhang Tao moved, origin qi overflowed. When he moved, origin qi erupted. At this moment, Zhang Tao looked disgusted. What the hell? What did that kid Fang Ping do again? It seems like there's someone among the humans who became stronger again. So fast, can't I take a break? Annoying, I might have to explode a few more clones today, too wasteful. Can't you let me digest it properly? Why do you have to swarm over like a swarm of bees? Heavenly King wanted to beat him to death. Bastard who took advantage of him, and still took it for granted. Don't you know how rare an opportunity like this is? At the Heavenly King level, who is like you, getting stronger every day? King of Humanity Path. The authentic King of Humanity Path, the orthodox King of Humanity Path. These are almost impossible paths to exist. You've taken it, and you still have the cheek to show off in front of me. Heavenly King cursed in his heart, his expression dark. If it wasn't for me, would I have taken advantage of you, bastard? Is it fun to show off every day? And the kind that doesn't care about relationships. Do you know how much effort I've spent to create this prosperous neo-martial arts era? Heavenly King cursed in his heart for a while, then thought of Li Zhen and almost spat at him. Idiot, change your surname, don't be Li. I supported you, but you actually lost to Zhang Brat and became his underling. You've lost the face of the Li family. Otherwise, wouldn't you be the human king now? Forget it, I'm magnanimous and won't argue with you. Heavenly King comforted himself for a while. It's the same, don't worry, don't worry. Back then, I didn't strangle you to death, and Li Zhen became your underling. I knew it would be like this, just get used to it. Heavenly King suppressing muttered in his heart. This old man is magnanimous, righteous, and broad-minded. Otherwise, anyone would have killed this bastard and replaced the human king with Li Zhen. Li Zhen, heavenly king suppressing, suddenly cursed in his heart. If it was really that idiot, the human race might have been destroyed long ago. Forget it, don't think about it. That Zhang brat was extremely sinister. He was the best leader of that period. If it were Li Zhen, he would have long killed his way into the underground cavern alone and perished together with some experts, nurturing a group of human death squads. At this moment, Heavenly King Suppressing was thinking a little too much. He was also a little jealous. The human king path had been taken, and now there seemed to be a human emperor path. I'm going crazy with jealousy. But it's all my credit, it's all mine. Heavenly King Suppressing hypnotized himself. Yes, it's all my credit. I'm the greatest contributor to the human race. What Zhang Tao, Fang Ping, they're all things that I don't want. Don't want. Chapter 1184. The weather is so good today, Taboo C. He looked up at the sky leisurely. The weather is good. Taking a stroll with the Heavenly King is also a great enjoyment. Let me warn you, don't chase anymore. There's an ambush 800 li ahead. Behind him, the fighting king was approaching. The saber slashed out. Fang Ping's body swayed a little. With a splat, his shoulder was bleeding profusely. Fang Ping could not help but curse, "Old Man Li, you can't avoid it." Far away, Old Man Li's face had turned purple. "Don't be reckless. Are you crazy? When you're fighting against the Heavenly King, you're copying me, trying to use pole standing to dodge. You think too highly of yourself, don't you?" Heaven Fighting King's face was also gloomy. "How dare you?" No matter what, he was still a Heavenly King stage powerhouse who had broken sick. His explosive power was more than 4.8 million calories, and his limit was more than 5 million calories. Facing him, Fang Ping actually dared to hone his combat techniques at this moment. The Chongdao in his hand shot out violently. Not only that, at this moment, his mentality erupted, suppressing Fang Ping. Origin energy surged again, trying to seal Fang Ping. A three-pronged attack. He did not believe that Fang Ping could really resist him. In reality, Fang Ping was indeed unable to withstand a Heavenly King powerhouse. His maximum vitality was not low, but although his mentality was comparable to an emperor level, the gap between him and a Heavenly King was too big. When he was suppressed, it was similar to Old Man Li's death. After all, he had just entered the absolute peak and possessed spiritual power that was close to the emperor level, which was already extremely terrifying. But Heaven Conqueror was a Heavenly King. This time, Fang Ping was at a great disadvantage. His movements were slightly sluggish. With this sluggishness, Fighting King's Chongdao shot straight at him. With a splat, Fang Ping's neck was sliced open. Sparks flew everywhere as blood spurted out. Fang Ping dodged slightly, his expression darkening. His overall strength was still far from that of a Heavenly King. As for a saint's mentality was also stronger than Fang Ping's, but the difference was not so obvious. Right now, he could still fight a sage, but against a Heavenly King, it would be difficult to kill him. In reality, if he was really suppressed, he could be cut to death with a blunt knife. "Don't force me," Fang Ping roared. "If you force me again, I'll self-destruct my mentality." It had been a long time since he had self-destructed. Right now, he didn't dare to self-destruct his mind power. In the life gate, a few chubby babies helped him repair his brain nucleus day and night. Now, the cracks were getting fewer and fewer. Fang Ping took a look earlier, and it seemed like there were only 1 or 2 cracks left. It wasn't easy for me to repair it. If it exploded again, it would shatter. If it continued to break, he would have to repair it. When would these days come to an end? How could the Heavenly King care about him? Not only that, but the tyrant had also arrived at this moment and punched out. At this moment, a figure flashed in front of the fist. With a rumble, both sides took a step back. Jiang Hao held the long sword in his hand. His face was illusory, and he did not make a sound. At this moment, a weak psychic power probed over. Jiang Hao did not say a word. His long sword pierced through the air and swept through the void. Poochie! A soft sound was heard, and the source of the weak spiritual power was cut off. Seal your spiritual power. Feng's mental energy was far away, but it wasn't strong. Even though it was severed, it didn't dissipate. Instead, he smiled and said, I should have guessed who you are. You really won't return? Along with these words, the spiritual power dissipated completely. Jiang Hao's expression was cold. Return. Return to what? Return to the sky-sealing bloodline. The demon emperor replaced Gong Juanzi and became the heavenly son of heaven of that era. All of this was secretly planned by someone. And this person was most likely Feng. Feng seemed to have seen something and guessed his identity. What was the demon emperor? The successor of the sky-sealing bloodline? Or was the entire Purple Cap Mountain part of the sky-sealing bloodline's plan? Purple Cap Mountain. Where was the source? Jiang Hao did not speak. His long sword pierced through the air, and his swordsmanship was cunning. In the blink of an eye, he stabbed the tyrant hundreds of times. The tyrant's body was covered in sparks. He roared and punched out, using force to suppress others. Jiang Hao retreated, but the void shook. With a poochie sound, his body broke a little. His body was only at the impasse realm. How could he resist the tyrant? Jiang Hao did not speak. His speed was extremely fast, and he moved like a ghost. In the blink of an eye, he attacked hundreds of times with his sword. With a poochie sound, dozens of attacks pierced through the tyrant's flesh. The tyrant sneered, You? He did not know that this person was the reincarnation of the demon emperor. Even if he knew, he would not care. After all, this was not the demon emperor himself. It was difficult to break through his defense. Although he was not weak, there was still a huge gap between him and the tyrant. At this moment, another sword gleam pierced through the air. Me too. Old Manly growled, Pincer, attack him. You front and I'll back. Make sure to hold him back. He only had weak emperor-level combat strength. He was at a disadvantage in this battle. If the tyrant unleashed his full power as a top-notch saint, there was a chance he could kill him instantly. However, Jiang Hao had already made a move. As the strongest powerhouse of the human race who could spare, how could he not fight? As for the other saints, the saints of the catacombs would not let them leave. An ant dares to shake the heavens, the tyrant roared. Energy exploded, breaking through the void. A punch pierced through the void and hit Old Manly. At this moment, Jiang Hao slashed with his sword. Old Manly followed suit. Both of them attacked the tyrant's fist at the same time. With a poochie sound, a bloody mark appeared. The tyrant did not care too much, but he was a little annoyed. Among these two, one was a weak saint, the other a weak emperor level. However, at this moment, he was pinned down. You're courting death. The tyrant was furious. Previously, the god creation envoy was protecting Li Chongqing. He had yet to settle the score with him for killing Parrish. This guy actually dared to make a move. Old Manly sneered, incompetent rage. Your bloodline will be destroyed sooner or later. Die. The tyrant roared and blasted a punch. This time, Old Manly and Jiang Hao attacked again. The two long swords made a deafening sound of metal cracking in the air. The Sky Destroyer sword was powerful, but Jiang Hao's sword was not. With a bang, the long sword exploded. The fragments of the exploded longsword shot out, covering the three of them. Countless bloody marks appeared on Jiang Hao and Old Man Li's bodies instantly. As for the tyrant, he only had a few scratches on his skin. He sneered again and again. He was a little aggrieved when he fought Fong Ping. However, when he fought against these two, the gap between them and him was huge. With his powerful physique, It was difficult for them to break through his defense. At this moment, Old Man Li's expression changed. He growled, "Hold him back!" Jiang Hao did not say much. He condensed a vitality sword and attacked the tyrant again. On the other side, Fang Ping saw the situation. He gritted his teeth and shot a long spear. "I'll give it to you." The tyrant was furious. Just as he was about to snatch it back, Old Man Li let out a roar. His silhouette became a little more illusionary, charging toward him suddenly. The tyrant turned around and threw a punch. This punch seemed to hit thin air. It was not completely useless. Old Man Li spewed blood wildly from his mouth, but he was not blown up by the punch like he had imagined. His physique became a little more illusionary, notwithstanding the full force of his punch. When the tyrant's punch came down, Old Man Li slashed with his sword too. This slash landed on his fist as well. The injury was not as serious as before. There was only a small mark on his fist. However, the tyrant's expression changed suddenly. His body trembled and he took a step back. Then, he looked at Li Changxing in disbelief. "What combat technique is this?" The tyrant was shocked. What was this? The other party's slash did not only slash his physique, but also his mentality and origin. Under his carelessness, a small hole actually appeared in the source world. Old Man Li was a little exhausted. He felt helpless. The difference was too big. Lifeless sword. Slash the one. Once this sword was unleashed, the physique, mentality, and origin were slashed at the same time. It could be said that this slash was also a slash that almost did not exist in the world today. His body became illusionary, adapting to that state. Unfortunately, his foundation was not strong after all. The other party was also a top-notch saint. He could only slash the other party's origin a little. Even so, he was a weak emperor martial artist. Slashing a top-notch saint and actually forcing the other party to take a step back was extremely terrifying. The tyrant was in disbelief. Jiang Hao, who had received the long spear, turned it into a sword and looked at Old Man Li in surprise. When he killed Annihilation, everyone knew that something was wrong with him. However, at this time, he actually slashed a top-notch saint. He even injured the tyrant. Even he was a little shocked. What path did Li Changxing take? At the same time, the God Creation Envoy's eyes flickered. He said softly, "Sorry, kick Zhao Xingwu first?" Someone looked at him, somewhat at a loss. What did he mean? What Zhao Xingwu? The God Creation Envoy did not explain. 10 influential figures. Kick Zhao Xingwu first. Zhao Xingwu had yet to reveal some of his own things. Although the God Creation Envoy still thought highly of him, compared to Li Changxing, the gap was not small. They had both just advanced to the peak not long ago. Li Changxing. He had already walked his own path, even if it was still very young. However, Li Changxing had actually walked a different path in this era where the source was the only ruler. It was too terrifying. He must be one of the top 10 influential figures. The God Creation Envoy even felt that if the Martial King and the Human King did not put in more effort, Li Changxing might catch up from behind and surpass the two of them to become the strongest. He was so close that he could see a little more. This sword slashed through 10,000 paths. Terrifying. There was only one sword in the myriad Tao. It did not differentiate between the physical body and the great Tao of spiritual sense. The God Creation Envoy was confused. How did this guy think of it? How did he do it? It seemed like he had comprehended it during the battle. What exactly happened in the source world at that time? The God Creation Envoy could not see through it, but he knew that this guy had some skills. He really had to have a good exchange. After looking at this side, the God Creation Envoy looked at Fang Ping. At this time, Fang Ping was still escaping. However, it was a little miserable. The Heavenly King was the Heavenly King. Fang Ping counterattacked and slashed the other party's great Tao, but he was directly bounced out. His origin energy overflowed, and it was like this a few times. He was almost seriously injured by the recoil. With a prepared heavenly king, it would be difficult for Fong Ping to break through. In this way, he could only passively take a beating. However, Fong Ping still displayed his strength. As he ran, he scolded, "Trash, you can't beat me to death. How many years have you lived? I'm only 21. I'll definitely kill you before I'm 22. There's an ambush 500 miles ahead. There are 8 heavenly kings lying in ambush. Just wait for your death. You're still a heavenly king? Don't be ridiculous. Even the King Kuan that I look down on has strength. You don't even have strength. You're just a piece of trash, a fake heavenly king. You're still fighting for the main character of this era? Why didn't that chaotic heavenly king beat you to death? He let a piece of trash like you live. Could it be that he disdains killing trash?" Pfft! Fong Ping was slashed by the saber again. His left arm was broken, but he still scolded, "What a piece of trash! Your mentality suppressed me, your origin sealed me. Until now, you still can't kill me. I'm so disappointed." "Right, why hasn't your origin seal been completed? Don't give up. Continue, just a little more." Although Battle King Wang was not injured, and he even killed Fong Ping until he was riddled with scars, he still felt indescribably uncomfortable, aggrieved. "I was the one who beat this guy until he covered his head and scurried away. Why did he feel that I lost and he was the big winner?" Sharp-tongued, Battle King Wang snorted coldly. His small world suspended in the air again, suppressing downward. Fong Ping turned around and slashed. This time, he had some result. The slash made the other party's small world tremble. "What are you pretending for? This is a divine weapon. It's fine if you restrain it, but if you release it, believe it or not, I'll smash your origin to pieces." Fong Ping scorned. Blood flowed from his mouth. He laughed and said, "You're tickling me. How weak. Back then, I was beaten until only bones were left, and I didn't even cry out in pain. What is this? Tickling me? I have so much imperishable substance that I can't use up. I'll be fine in a moment." As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping's golden body flickered. Countless imperishable substances surged out. His flesh was recovering. "I've used up quite a lot of mentality." Forget about recovering. In the next moment, Fong Ping's dispirited mentality was completely restored. "The origin is a little unstable. Recover." At this time, Fong Ping's slightly unstable origin was also restored in an instant. In all directions, everyone was dumbstruck. Battle King Wang, who was at the back, was livid. "He had hit you for half a day and you're fine now?" Fong Ping was groaning in his heart. "Who said he was fine? This was a big deal. I was almost beaten to death by you. Wasn't I just scaring you? Also, this wealth consumption was frightening." Fong Ping was groaning in his heart again. The current him was powerful, but the consumption was also huge. Take vitality for example. After the basic vitality was exhausted, close to 2 million wealth was consumed in one go. In addition to origin chi and mentality, almost in the blink of an eye, his wealth consumption was close to 10 million. Also, breaking into the origin, whether it was a success or failure, it would consume a lot of wealth. Hundreds of millions of wealth were used up at one go. After all, this was a heavenly king. The overlord he had faced earlier was also a top-notch saint. This was not a fight, this was a fight. Since the start of the fight, the wealth consumption was close to 10 billion. Fong Ping's heart was bleeding. The consumption was too high. Moreover, if this continued, he might not be able to outlast the heavenly king. The heavenly king recovered extremely quickly, much faster than him anyway. Even if his wealth was depleted, he might not be able to exhaust the heavenly king to death. Instead, the probability of him being exhausted to death was higher. This was the first time Fong Ping felt that he could not outlast his opponent. At this realm, blindly exhausting the other party was already hopeless. The sure wind talisman of the past was now a little outdated. This was only a heavenly king who had broken 6. The degree of breaking 6 was not high. If he encountered a peak heavenly king, he would definitely be finished. It's over, it's over. If I go to the fake heavenly cemetery, they are all senior heavenly kings. Weak ones like Moon Spirit also have divine weapons in hand. They are not any worse than senior heavenly kings. If I go there, I'll be a lackey. Fong Ping lamented in his heart. Fighting Heavenly King was only a heavenly king who had just advanced. He did not have divine weapons in hand. His strongest sealing move had limited effect on Fong Ping. That was why he could slightly resist it. But the others were in danger. I have too many enemies. If King Kuan knows what happened, I'm afraid he'll beat me to death. If Sea Conqueror knows that I want to chop off his fish head, he'll beat me to death too. And Li Zhu, this guy is also very scary, and King Zhen, King Sun, Fong Ping did not know if he did not count. Once he counted, Fong Ping shuddered. If I go in, old Zhang and the rest don't protect me, I'm finished. While Fong Ping was calculating, Fighting Heavenly King was a little flustered and exasperated. Recovered. This guy actually recovered completely. He fought for so long, but it was all for nothing. He was about to explode in anger. He did not know how much Fong Ping had consumed. At least to outsiders, Fong Ping did not seem to be exhausted. Who knew what was going on with him? Many people guessed that he was related to the immortal source. He might have communicated with it, which was why he could recover so quickly. If that was the case, how powerful was the immortal source? The energy was almost endless. If this went on, Fighting Heavenly King might not be able to kill Fong Ping. Scary, Sky Sword suddenly sighed. It was too scary. A Heavenly King made a move, but he could not do anything to Fong Ping. How could he fight? Could the Catacombs 9 Saints really kill Fong Ping? Beside him, the governor frowned and said, I don't believe that he doesn't need to pay a price. There's no free lunch in the sky. He must have paid a price to recover so quickly. It might not last long. At this time, someone said helplessly, he has never stopped since he became rank 1. If he really had to pay a price, he wouldn't have reached this realm. Maybe he really doesn't need to pay anything. The one who said this was Furchuan, who followed. This divine general of the right was also very desperate. This guy Fong Ping was too much of a headache. If you could not kill him with one blow, he would keep recovering. It was too troublesome. Fighting Heavenly King was a heavenly king, but his strongest sealing method was not effective. Moreover, he had just advanced not long ago. He actually could not kill that guy. This made people feel helpless. However, in the next moment, everyone's eyes moved. At this moment, Fighting Heavenly King was also full of joy. It was working. At this moment, everyone could feel that Fong Ping's origin chi was a little unstable. Fong Ping, who was still escaping, was also helpless. In the source world, the 3 saint tokens kept bombarding the door. I am also very helpless. Fighting Heavenly King went on for too long, persistently trying to seal him. Right now, his origin was really showing signs of being sealed. After all, it was not even 10,000 meters long. There was a limit. After hearing Feng's words, Fighting Heavenly King continued to seal. The door inside was about to close. Fong Ping had no choice. He could only control the 3 saint tokens to keep smashing the door. There was a situation where the origin was unstable. But soon, Fong Ping's eyes flickered. In the entire 3 realms, other than those top-notch powerhouses who could sense it, there were not many people who knew where the fake sky grave was. The fake sky grave was mobile. The first one who knew was the Azure Cat. Its divine weapon was there. The second one was Fong Ping. This was because his divine weapon was there too. The heaven confining bell that blocked the door was controlled by him. The heaven confining bell was controlled by Fong Ping. The heavenly kings might not have thought of this, because the azure cat only lent to Fang Ping. Old Zhang and the others were also worried that something would happen to him inside. Therefore, when the heaven-confining bell was made, Fang Ping was the one controlling it. At this moment, Fang Ping had already vaguely sensed it. It was right in front. 500 li, 800 li. It was in the void about 100 li in front. If no one stopped it, it was only a step away. However, now that he was blocked by fighting Heavenly King, he could only forcefully break through the void. His speed had also slowed down. I'm finally here. Fang Ping breathed a sigh of relief, but in his heart, he was thinking, could he kill this fighting Heavenly King? Had old Zhang and the others ambushed him? He had experienced it once last time. The saint from Emperor Nan's bloodline died when he went in. This time, if he went in, would fighting Heavenly King dare to go in? How about pretending to break through the void and escape inside? Fang Ping quickly frowned. The fake sky grave was still a little different. There were some fluctuations in the passageway. It was difficult to hide from the Heavenly King powerhouses who were close at hand. Unless he wants to go in himself, I have to force him into a corner, or I'm about to die, and this guy can't bear to give up. Calculating in his heart, Fang Ping continued to bombard the door of the source world. Closer, closer and closer. Behind him, fighting Heavenly King frowned slightly, as if he had sensed something. Even further behind, the Overlord and the others had already fought over here. Old Man Li and Jiang Hao were very miserable. The Overlord was slightly injured, but both of them were seriously injured. At this moment, everyone looked at Fang Ping. Fang Ping's aura was beginning to decline. The Overlord sneered. Fighting Heavenly King also snorted coldly. No matter how strong the Origin Tao was, it was still sealed. This guy was very difficult to deal with. At this moment, Fang Ping looked desperate. In the next moment, his face suddenly lit up and he laughed loudly. I really ambushed dozens of Heavenly Kings. The heavens did not kill me. Ha ha ha. Fang Ping laughed wildly. At this moment, fighting Heavenly King's expression changed slightly. He sensed it. He sensed that there was something in the void, the existence of a small world. At this moment, Fang Ping's aura suddenly disappeared completely, and he entered the void in the blink of an eye. Fighting Heavenly King's saber cut through the air, and the void shattered. Fang Ping's leg was chopped off, but he laughed again. He had already run in front of a door. A cat laughing. A cat with a king on its head. At the back, the cat raised its head and muttered, "We're at the Sky Cemetery again." Why did the Sky Cemetery float here? Everyone looked at him. Sky Sword and the others' expressions changed. Was it a coincidence or a trap? Fighting Heavenly King and the Overlord's expressions also changed slightly. It was this place. Fake Sky Cemetery. They knew this place, and they also knew that the saint from Emperor Nan's bloodline had died after entering. Many veteran Heavenly King powerhouses were gathered inside. This godforsaken place was very dangerous. Why did it appear here? At this moment, Fang Ping was riddled with wounds, but he was laughing non-stop. The door slowly opened. A bunch of trash. A Heavenly King, a top-notch saint. No, there's also an old Heavenly King who won't die, but I escaped. Ha ha, I've ambushed dozens of Heavenly Kings inside. Try and chase after me if you dare. Fang Ping put on a strong front but was weak at heart, his attitude threatening. Don't chase. If you chase after me, you're dead meat. There really are dozens of Heavenly Kings inside, and they're all lying in ambush here. Fang Ping roared and burrowed in at once. At this moment, fighting Heavenly King's expression was uncertain. He slashed with his saber, but he did not manage to slash Fang Ping. Fang Ping went in. After chasing for a long time, Fang Ping ran away under their noses. At this moment, the cat also muttered, "Don't chase after him. It's very dangerous. There are all Heavenly Kings inside. If you go in, you'll die." To chase or not to chase? If he did not chase, all his previous efforts would be wasted. If he chased after him, if there was no ambush inside, Fong Ping would definitely die. However, if there was really an ambush, what should he do? The door was closing. It was very fast. In the blink of an eye, the door that could fit one person earlier was now only a little bit big. At this moment, a powerful mentality swept over Fong. Fong did not expect the fake sky cemetery to appear. At this moment, this top-notch powerhouse said instantly, "Go in, contact Hong Kuan, Li Zhu, and the others. At the critical moment, join forces to kill the enemy." He knew that it was very dangerous inside. However, it might not be dangerous. He also hoped that the two people under his sect could go in and give it a try. This was also an opportunity. Fighting Heavenly King and Overlord looked at each other, their expressions solemn, and quickly burrowed into the door. Just as the two of them burrowed in, a powerful mentality attached to the Overlord's body. On this side, the God-forging envoy snorted. Almost without any hesitation, he kicked Strength Wuji who was beside him and sent him flying. In Strength Wuji's days, a ball entered his body. In the next moment it flew towards the door together with him. Only then did Strength Wuji react. He screamed, "No! I'm not going in!" He knew. This God-forging envoy old man wanted to kill him. He wanted him to bring his avatar in. "I won't do it." Strength Wuji was about to cry. "I won't do it, I just achieved Dao. There are so many people, why did you kick me? Why did you let me in? Don't." It was too dangerous, so dangerous that it was scared to death. Chapter 1185. Spirit Emperor Dojo. At the entrance of the passageway, Old Zhang and Heavenly King Jin frowned. By now, many people had arrived. Zhang Tao's eyes were alert and nervous, but his expression did not change. "Everyone, why are you all here? Do you think we're leaving? So many human powerhouses are here. Will we leave? How can you believe Hong Yu? Are you stupid?" In the crowd, Li Zhu took a step forward and said flatly, "Zhang Tao, if you're not here to leave, then why are you here?" Then, he muttered to himself, "The last time I came here, a saint came in and you guys killed him on the spot. I think you guys are in contact with the outside world. The one who came in last time should be your opponent, Fong Ping, who sent him in. This time, you guys suddenly came here again. Did Fong Ping send someone in again?" Then, Li Zhu said playfully, "Once is enough. The people from the outside world won't come a second time, right? Could it be someone from the human race is coming in again?" Li Zhu's face turned colder. "Earlier, Tian Mu came in with a large amount of supplies. Your human experts replenished their energy and became much stronger. These days you've done a lot of great things. Did Fong Ping send more supplies in?" Many people looked at him unkindly. Fong Ping again. This guy didn't even stop outside. He even sent a lot of treasures in. God knows how many imperishable substances he sent. These days, the human powerhouses became stronger as they fought. They were confident and used the imperishable substances like they were free. Many of their bodies were much stronger than before they came in. Zhang Tao chuckled. "If you say so. Li Zhu, why do you keep watching us? There are more people here who are more threatening than humans. No matter how strong we are, we're still new. Hong Yu, Hong Kuan, Sea Guardian, King Qian, all of them have more secrets than us." Zhang Tao looked at him. "You, Li Zhu, have more secrets, don't you?" Zhang Tao looked around and said coldly, "Is it necessary to keep watching us?" Li Zhu said flatly, "Of course it is. I'm just curious. Who came this time? Could it be that Fong Ping came in personally?" Someone chuckled. "Does Fong Ping dare to come in?" The humans are probably still counting on Fong Ping to withstand the pressure. They weren't too clear about the situation. When they came in, there wasn't even a single desperate realm expert among the humans outside. However, he had heard last time that Fong Ping had slain a saint. Based on the current situation, Fang Ping was the pillar of the current human race. He would not enter easily. Li Zhu thought about it and agreed. Fang Ping was the pillar of humanity. Zhang Tao and the rest had gone through a lot of trouble to gather a large number of powerhouses here. How could they let Fang Ping take the risk and enter this place? However, Zhang Tao and Heavenly King Zhentian were here again. Could it be that someone else was coming in? At this moment, Li Zhu glanced at the others. They wanted to know more about the outside world. Last time, only Tian Mu survived. In the end, Tian Mu was on the side of the human race. No one knew where he was hiding these past few days. They didn't know much about the outside world. At this moment, Li Zhu laughed and said, "King Wu, when someone comes in, there's no need to kill them in a hurry. Why don't we get to know the situation first before making a decision?" They would not give the martial king another chance to kill. This time, they had to protect whoever came in. As soon as he said that, the other heavenly kings were all smiles. It was best not to kill the enemy of the human race. They might even be one of their own. Zhang Tao frowned slightly and cursed in his heart. Among these heavenly king powerhouses, Li Zhu seemed to not target humans, but in fact, he was the most sinister. From time to time, he would instigate others to attack humans. As they were thinking, everyone's heart stirred. The passageway seemed to have opened. At this moment, a figure flashed and disappeared. Zhang Tao and the others were ready to make a move. The other heavenly kings stared at Zhang Tao and the others, also paying attention to the person who came in. Fang Ping wanted to curse. What was going on? As soon as he came in, he felt many powerful auras. What were old Zhang and the others doing? How did they do things? I told you to ambush, but I didn't tell you to attract so many powerhouses. I just came in and just now I was scaring people that there were a bunch of heavenly kings lying in ambush. Now there's really a lot of them. Danger. This thought flashed across Fang Ping's mind. Almost in the blink of an eye, as he stepped out of the passageway, he blurted out, "The three realms are facing a crisis. The Sky Sealing clan has come out and suppressed 18 saints. Run!" Fang Ping roared. Almost in the blink of an eye, he rushed toward the Sky Sealing clan. He was the strongest. Under the Sky Sealing clan's dazed gaze, Fang Ping grabbed his arm and hung on him, roaring, "Run! There are 8 heavenly kings in the Sky Sealing clan. They want to kill their way into this place and kill everyone." Everyone was still a little dazed. What nonsense were you talking about? What Sky Sealing clan, suppressing 18 saints, 8 heavenly kings, killing everyone? What were you talking about? Li Zhu could not be bothered to listen to this. He was a little surprised. He did not expect Fang Ping to come in. Kill him. Li Zhu's mentality fluctuated. Kill Fang Ping. This guy was very dangerous. He felt more dangerous than a martial king. Kill him first. As for Fang Ping's nonsense, he would not take it seriously now. Just as he was about to make a move, Li Zhu's expression changed slightly. There were really heavenly kings. Damn it! What the hell happened? Not only him, but the others also sensed the aura that followed in. Heavenly kings. There were really heavenly kings coming in. The Sky Sealing clan made a decision almost instantly. He roared, "Kill! The Sky Sealing clan must die!" Rumble! The Sky Sealing clan attacked. Dotian, who had just broken in, also sensed the aura of many heavenly kings. His expression changed drastically. There was really an ambush. It must be an ambush. Didn't they all say that they wanted to kill the people of the Sky Sealing clan? Seal! Dotian roared. At this moment, he was also anxious. He did not expect so many heavenly kings to be here. At this moment, Dotian was also hysterical. In an instant, he unleashed his most powerful move. The small world descended with a bang. Behind the crowd, the 2 kings' expressions changed. They staggered. Although they were not sealed instantly, they felt the stagnation of their origin. Powerhouse! A top powerhouse! The person who came in was extremely strong. When the two saints joined forces, they also had the combat strength of a heavenly king. They did not expect that the person who came in would actually make them suffer a loss. At this moment, Zhang Tao also attacked. Not only Zhang Tao, but in the crowd, the demon emperor's eyes flickered and he also swung his sword. As for the others, some took a few steps back, and some also attacked. King Qian's big hand covered down, frowning slightly. This was the person who came in to kill Fang Ping, right? Everyone was not stupid. Naturally, they understood. But where did this unfamiliar heavenly king come from? In this day and age, even heavenly kings were unfamiliar. The Sky Ceiling Clan. Everyone quickly recalled. A few people seemed to have thought of something and their expressions did not look too good. Some people frowned slightly, deep in thought. However, for a moment, no one made a move to stop anything. Kill. Even if they died, they would die in vain. The heavenly kings were all opponents and competitors. If one died, there would be one less. It was very rare to have such an opportunity. Rumble. With so many people attacking, the small world that Dotian had unleashed was directly blasted apart. Dotian's face was pale. At this time, King Wu's whip struck, directly causing his golden body to explode. At the same time, another person came in from behind. The overlord's expression changed. Then, with a roar, he threw a punch at the Sky Ceiling Clan who was about to kill Dotian. The Sky Ceiling Clan was too sinister. Taking advantage of the fact that Dotian's origin was injured, he quietly punched Dotian's head. The overlord growled. At the same time, another powerful aura erupted from his body. Stop! Feng's aura. Feng's mentality was attached to his body. At this moment, he was also extremely surprised. Why were there so many people gathered at the entrance of this passageway? Feng! Feng! At this moment, several people exclaimed in a low voice, frowning. It was that guy. The Sky Ceiling Clan. It was really him. Damn it, when did this clan gather so many powerhouses? A heavenly king in front, and the overlord at the back, with the support of Feng's mentality, actually had the strength of a heavenly king. Two heavenly kings. Fang Ping said that the Sky Ceiling Clan's 8 heavenly kings came out to suppress the 3 realms. It might not be false. At this moment, everyone's expression turned ugly. Could it be that Feng really gathered 8 heavenly kings? There were already 2 of them. Whether the one at the back was supported by Feng or not, without the strength of a top-notch saint, he could not unleash the combat strength of a heavenly king. That was not all. At this moment, a bull appeared at the back. It floated over in fear. Li Wuji did not sense anything, but the God Creation Envoy's avatar sensed it and was also shocked. In the next moment, the avatar exploded and attached itself to Li Wuji's body. The strength of a saint was undoubtedly revealed. Another one came. After the Sky Ceiling Clan's footsteps, some people naturally thought that it was the Sky Ceiling Clan again. This bloodline was so strong? In the next moment, everyone attacked one after another. Kill a heavenly king first. Stop! Feng controlled the overlord and exchanged a punch with the heavenly king Jin. With a loud bang, the fist exploded. Feng's figure appeared and roared again. I have no intention of becoming enemies with all of you. I only came to kill Fang Ping, damn it. Feng was a little speechless. What was wrong? Why were there so many heavenly king powerhouses gathered here? Before he could finish, Fang Ping roared in fear, be careful, he has the strength of a broken 8, the seal is invincible, and he has joined forces with the God Creation Envoy who has also broken 8. He wants to suppress the 3 realms. At the back, the God Creation Envoy attached to Li Wuji was stunned for a moment. Then, he cursed in his heart. His figure also appeared and shouted, Brother Feng, there are too many powerhouses. I will enter and kill them. Close the passageway. Fang Ping roared and signaled to Zhang Tao with his eyes. Zhang Tao also roared, don't let their real bodies enter. Two of them have broken 8. We are in danger. Broken 8. Two of them. At this moment, even the Sea Guardian and the other powerhouses' expressions changed slightly. Feng and the God Creation Envoy had broken 8? That was big trouble. At this moment, the passageway quickly began to close. Zhang Tao roared angrily, "Be careful of them working together from the inside and outside. Break the fusion and break the 8 invincible." Feng's mentality was a little speechless. He quickly said, "I am not in cahoots with the blacksmith." How could he admit that he was in cahoots with the God Creation Envoy? Moreover, they were really not in cahoot. These guys actually wanted to trick him. Feng was speechless and depressed. However, at this moment, King Qian and the others had already made their move. Rumble. The sound of explosions continued. Reverse Heaven was the most miserable. He was the first to bear the brunt, and his golden body was destroyed. In the next moment, a spirit avatar appeared. The Heavenly King's spirit avatar was also extremely powerful. Moreover, he had originally taken the path of mentality. At this moment, he also roared angrily and quickly sealed the Heavenly King, who was the most ruthless. On the Heavenly King's side, Fang Ping had already hidden behind him. Seeing that Reverse Heaven was about to seal the Heavenly King, he almost laughed out loud. "Are you serious?" Not only did Fang Ping know that it was troublesome, but Feng's expression also changed. He shouted, "Stop! Idiot! Why did you seal everyone?" He instantly recognized the Heavenly King. He was not even confident that he could seal the Heavenly King, let alone this disciple. Was he courting death? Unfortunately, it was too late. The Heavenly King looked innocent. The origin chi on his body flashed and disappeared. In the next moment, Reverse Heaven's spirit avatar suddenly began to explode, and the source world emerged. At this moment, only a fist could be seen, blasting into the source world. It blasted in along Reverse Heaven's own origin chi. Ah! A miserable scream rang out. More than half of Reverse Heaven's source world was instantly destroyed. Feng could not take it anymore and roared, "Hongkuan, Sea Guardian, are you really going to kill my disciple?" Only then did the Sea Guardian say coldly, "I didn't see clearly. It's a misunderstanding." He snorted inwardly. Too bad it was not the Venerate. Otherwise, they would take this opportunity to kill Reverse Heaven's spirit avatar. To them, if Reverse Heaven's spirit avatar killed Reverse Heaven's spirit avatar, it would be hard to explain. There was no need to offend Reverse Heaven's spirit avatar. But if Reverse Heaven's spirit avatar was beaten half to death, it was not a big deal. "Who asked you to come in so suddenly?" They stopped, but the Heavenly King and King Wu did not. One of them charged at the Overlord, the other at the heavily injured Reverse Heaven. At this moment, Feng shouted again, "Li Zhu!" Li Zhu frowned slightly, sighed, and reached out with one hand, colliding with Zhang Tao. Feng also controlled the Overlord and threw a punch at the Heavenly King. Li Zhu helped the Fengtian clan. At this moment, Fang Ping's expression also changed. Was Li Zhu on their side? Could he also be a member of the Fengtian clan? But did these people forget about him? Did they really think that he was insignificant? He was a powerhouse with the combat strength of a sage. And they ignored him? Reverse Heaven was seriously injured. At this moment, Fang Ping's eyes dimmed. In an instant, he broke into Reverse Heaven's broken source world, and the god-slaying saber appeared. If Reverse Heaven had not been seriously injured by the Heavenly King, Fang Ping would not have been able to break into his source. However, at this moment, his source world was extremely broken, revealing a wide path behind it. Fang Ping did not care about this. The moment he entered, he swung his saber and slashed. Not only the saber, but also the Saint's token. 3 tokens. The Saint's token could also enter the source world, which was more powerful than the average holy weapon. The 3 Saints' tokens pressed down, and the god-slaying saber slashed wildly. While Li Zhu intercepted King Wu, Feng and the Overlord fought the Heavenly King. Fang Ping also attacked. The saint's token fell from the sky. With a bang, the broken small world became even more broken. Reverse Heaven's figure appeared, but it was a little illusory, not as solid as before. Fang Ping slashed. With a puff, Reverse Heaven's figure exploded. Reverse Heaven's body appeared again, but it was extremely dim. He was also shocked, angry, and terrified. Today, he, the Heavenly King, appeared domineeringly and suppressed the three realms. Who knew that in the blink of an eye, he would be so miserable? His source world was almost destroyed. The most tragic thing was that he ran to seal the Heavenly King. It was really tragic. The Heavenly King followed his own chi, located his source world, and destroyed his source world with one punch. When top-notch powerhouses fought, unless they were very confident, they should not easily touch the other party's source. It was very dangerous to capture the location of your source. Didn't you see that top-notch powerhouses would not easily reveal their combat techniques? They were afraid of being caught by others and afraid that others would locate their source world. Reverse Heaven, on the other hand, actually attacked the Heavenly King. At this time, Fang Ping took advantage of the situation, adding injuries on top of his injuries. It was extremely heavy. Feng sensed it. He sensed that his eldest disciple was like a candle in the wind, about to be extinguished. It was not easy to cultivate a Heavenly King. He must not let Reverse Heaven be killed. Feng was about to explode. How could this be? The next moment, he roared again, "Hong Yu, attack once!" In the distance, Hong Yu's expression changed slightly. He felt helpless. Like Li Zhu, he sighed and stretched out his hand to grab this side, saying, "I'm not Hong Yu. Hong Yu is dead. This is the last time." However, at this time, Fang Ping also spoke, shouting, "Unquestionable Jian, stop him! I'm going to kill a Heavenly King." The Demon Emperor frowned, snorted softly, and swung his sword at Hong Yu. He slashed Hong Yu. On the other side, Moon Spirit said angrily, "How dare you! You deceive your master and ancestors." Unquestionable Jian frowned and did not reply. Moon Spirit swung her saber. Northern Emperor's saber. Chaos. At this moment, many Heavenly Kings were involved. The Sky Sealing clan was indeed powerful. Li Zhu and Hong Yu attacked one after another. They might not be from the Sky Sealing clan, but at this moment, they seemed to have some reservations and had to stop them. King Qian and the other Heavenly Kings were watching the show. No one intervened. Fight. One dead meant one less. They were all future opponents. They did not expect that the Heavenly Kings would fight to the death the moment they arrived. After all, there had been no Heavenly Kings fighting to the death in Spirit Emperor Dojo for so many days. Everyone fought, but they also knew that Heavenly Kings were difficult to kill. The weaker Heavenly Kings all huddled together. For example, Moon Spirit and Heaven's Fate huddled together. King Wu and Heaven's Suppression were many people's targets, but they were both powerful. Although Saint Tiankue was a saint, he was one of the 8 kings who had the strength of a Heavenly King back then. Naturally, he was not weak now. None of them were weak. None of them were easy to kill. Heaven Reverse had just advanced. After all, Feng had only sent a wisp of mentality in and attached it to the Overlord. That was why he had the strength of a Heavenly King. At this moment, the Demon Emperor stopped Hong Yu. The Martial King stopped Li Zhu. He was suppressed by Heaven's Suppression again, and could only watch Heaven Reverse scream. He could not help but be furious. Heavenly Kings must not die. The next moment, Feng made up his mind. With a roar, the Overlord rose into the air and rushed toward Heaven's Suppression. At the same time, his mentality shifted and floated toward Heaven Reverse. Heaven's Suppression growled, "Retreat!" It was for Fang Ping. Feng was going to attach to Heaven Reverse. Fang Ping was trapped in Heaven Reverse's origin. In the source world, Fong Ping was furious when he saw Heaven Reverse's illusory figure. Heavenly kings were hard to kill. Fong was coming. He had given up on the Overlord to protect Heaven Reverse. It was difficult for Fong Ping to kill Heaven Reverse. Even so, Fong Ping was not satisfied. F***ck, I'll make your days miserable. Fong Ping was determined. In the next moment, endless origin chi gushed out and surged into Heaven Reverse's source world. Explode! With a low growl, Fong Ping slashed his saber again. The Saint Order continued to suppress. Not only that, but his own source world collided directly with it with a rumble. Rumble! Heaven Reverse's source world was almost completely destroyed at this moment. In the next moment, a powerful origin descended. Fong Ping retreated immediately. Fong was coming. In the outside world. As soon as Fong Ping retreated, he saw Heaven's suppression blow up the Overlord's golden body with a punch. This top saint powerhouse was full of despair and indignation. Master had given up on him and chosen senior brother. He was also very strong, but how could he be a match for Heaven Reverse? At this moment, he was forcefully thrown to Heaven Reverse's side by Master to stop Heaven Reverse. He could not avoid it. In an instant, the golden body was blown up. However, top saints would not die so easily. The Overlord still had a chance to escape. The golden body recovered again. The Overlord wanted to break through the air and escape. At this time, Fong Ping broke into the source again and slashed. At the same time, his real body roared, "Attack!" Before everyone understood what was going on, Force Infinity, who had been hiding behind them, stomped down with his hoof. With a bang, the Overlord's newly recovered golden body was trampled to pieces. Force Infinity looked innocent. "It wasn't me. The God Creation Envoy controlled me." The golden body exploded. In the next moment, the origin chi spread wildly. The Overlord was seriously injured. The origin was not as strong as the others. At this moment, it was slashed by Fong Ping crazily. In an instant, the source world exploded. Heavenly King Subduing also threw out another punch. There was a loud boom. Between heaven and earth, a great Tao appeared and collapsed in the blink of an eye. God Creation Envoy, Fong Ping, Heaven Reverse. 3 powerhouses joined forces to kill the Overlord. Top Saint. So far, the strongest powerhouse who had fallen. He died extremely aggrieved. He died extremely aggrieved. He was more aggrieved than the sky. A powerhouse who was close to the Heavenly King stage. At this moment, even the source universe trembled. A huge star dimmed instantly. Blood fell from heaven and earth. The 3 realms shook. In the outside world, Sky soared and the others watched for a while. Without saying a word, they turned around and left. Next time, whoever said that the fake Sky Tomb was safe, they would join forces to kill those people. The powerhouses of the Sky Sealing lineage chased after them. A heavenly king, a top saint, and an avatar that sealed themselves. A top saint actually died in an instant. The fake Sky Tomb. This was even more dangerous than the real Sky Tomb. At this time, another wave of mentality swept over, somewhat flustered and exasperated. He was no longer calm. Seal. The God Creation Envoy glanced at him. Without batting an eyelid, he moved his feet and left with the people of the human race. He left. Foam was about to explode. They could not sense what was happening in the fake Sky Tomb. Unless their avatars returned, they would not be able to sense what was happening. However, the Overlord was dead. This was something that everyone knew. He died too tragically. He was killed in 10 seconds. Do Tian did not know what was going on, but he was a heavenly king after all, so he could sense something. Especially Feng, he could sense that his eldest disciple's origin star was extremely dim. This was clearly a sign that he had suffered an extremely heavy injury. It was too tragic. 3 disciples left the mountain, 2 of them died in an instant, and one of them was seriously injured. It was unknown if he could survive. At this time, cracks appeared in the sky above the forbidden sea, and the void collapsed. A certain top-notch expert was about to go crazy. How could he remain calm? There was still someone provoking him. That stupid cat. In the distance, the fat stupid cat was muttering, but its voice was not soft. I told you not to provoke the swindler, but you still want to provoke him. He is a god of death, and he will die wherever he goes. Also, he actually named himself the Four Emperors. Anyway, he will die sooner or later, so stupid. Outside the fake sky tomb, Feng's mentality condensed into a human form. He looked at the fat cats but with a cold expression. The cat ignored him. It twisted its butt and wagged its tail. It continued to mutter, "Why are you looking at me? I'm not talking nonsense. Stop looking, it's useless. Keep looking. Keep looking. If you keep looking, I'll call for help. Just a little further away from the passageway. Call the swindler out and stab you to death." The cat was not afraid of him. At least not now. It was too close to the fake sky tomb. There were many experts inside. No matter how strong Feng was, the heavenly king Zhenwang, the martial king, and the god creation envoy were all present. The god creation envoy kicked its butt and said calmly, "Don't bother with this cat. It has too much to do with you. You can't afford it." Feng looked at them coldly and regained his calm. He said indifferently, "Cat, it's good to be a cat like back then. Why do you have to personally participate in this?" The cat turned its head and stuck out its tongue. It said proudly, "Idiot. Do you really think this cat is stupid? If I don't find a backer, what I had in the past won't be enough. All of you want to kill this cat already knows. This cat will anger you to death. If I have to find another backer, I will kill all of you." The cat was proud of itself. "This cat is so smart. I have to find a backer to anger you to death." Feng's expression returned to normal as he said indifferently, "Cat, even the Spirit Emperor almost couldn't protect you back then. What's the use of counting on these people?" The cat twisted its butt and couldn't be bothered with him. The God Creation Envoy also walked faster and faster. This cat had been a little inflated recently, so he had to get rid of it quickly. He didn't want to fight with Feng right now, there was no need. The cat didn't mind. Riding on the cicadere, it was in a good mood. It was almost humming a tune. Chapter 1186. In the fake sky grave. At the entrance of the passageway, the battle was rushed. In a rush, the overlord was killed. Fighting King was like a candle in the wind. Under the protection of Feng's mentality, he quickly recovered his golden body, but his face was pale and his eyes were dim. He did not look as domineering as he did today. Sky King suppresses the three realms. In the blink of an eye, he became the biggest joke among the Sky Kings. Failing to kill Feng Ping, and even killing two of his juniors, Feng personally appeared. Enough! A cold roar reverberated in all directions. Feng's silhouette appeared. The silhouette was shaking. At this moment, he was furious. "Li Zhen, do you really want to fight me to the end?" Suppressing Heavenly King looked at the sky. "Who are you calling?" "I don't know. I'm not Li Zhen." The others looked at Suppressing Heavenly King. Someone snorted softly. "Still pretending. Li Yu, the Weapon Grandmaster's eldest disciple, Li Yu." He said it as if it was true. In the end, Feng might not have a good character, but he was definitely experienced. He was a beginner martial artist. If he called out Li Zhen, then it was definitely Li Zhen. Feng shouted. In the end, at this critical juncture, Zhang Tao suddenly threw a punch. A sneak attack. The others had stopped, but he suddenly threw a punch. Fighting King roared. Feng's mentality exploded, and they attacked Zhang Tao together. Zhang Tao retreated quickly, scolding, "How dare you attack us? Let's fight together and kill them." They came in here to obtain the 9 Emperor seals. They didn't come in earlier or later. They came in now for the treasures. Fong Ping hurriedly added, not only the 9 emperors' seal, but also the powerhouses of the 3 realms. They have unified the 3 realms and rebuilt the heavenly court. They want to restore the old heavenly court. His words shook everyone's hearts. Him. On the other side, Hong Yu suddenly roared, "It's him! I said it's not me, but you guys insisted on chasing me." Fong was stunned. How could he be implicated in this? What did the catacombs rebuilding the heavenly court have to do with him? Hong Yu was helping him just now. In order to get rid of the blame, he threw the blame on him. "Bastard, it's you?" The sea-suppressing envoy and the others were a little skeptical, but the matter of re-establishing the celestial court did make them feel uncomfortable and extremely unhappy. Fong Ping said hurriedly, "It's him." He even conferred titles to 4 emperors, 3 envoys, and 8 kings. Heaven Reverse is the new emperor of Heaven Reverse. The one who just died is the new emperor of Heaven Reverse. I killed the other one, Emperor of Heaven Destruction. Feng's expression was livid. He said coldly, "Misleading the masses with lies?" Fong Ping humphed coldly. "Whether it's true or not, don't you know? It's not like Heaven Overlord and Overlord haven't appeared before." "Do you really think no one knows them?" At this moment, Heavenly King Subduing said faintly, "Exactly." Previously, this old man was still wondering where this newly ascended Heavenly King came from. So it was Heaven Defying. Heaven Conqueror and Overlord are both from your faction. In that case, the person who shot Unquestionable Jian with an arrow in the dark back then was also from your faction? Fong Ping was confused. What did he mean by killing Unquestionable Sword? At this moment, the Demon Emperor did not speak. He merely glanced at Fong and did not say anything. This was also in the past. The past of the Emperor's tomb. Back in the Emperor's tomb, the 10 emperors had besieged him. Could a venerable sovereign kill him? At that time, he had already displayed the strength of a sage. However, someone secretly shot an arrow at him, almost killing him when he had the strength of a sage back then. Of course, later on, he faked his death and escaped because of this arrow. If it was not so, the 3 realms would not believe that he was dead. It was not that easy for some emperors to kill him. Feng's gaze was cold. He looked at Heavenly King Subduing and said after a while, "So what? Unquestionable Jian has already killed Earth Battle. This matter is long over." Heavenly King Subduing gave Unquestionable Jian a surprised look. "When did you kill him?" Unquestionable Jian's expression was indifferent. When he saw Heavenly King Subduing looking at him, he said lightly, "When I got out of the Emperor's tomb, I killed him along the way." Heavenly King Subduing nodded and did not say much. He smiled. "I see. Earth Battle. Conferring titles to the 4 emperors. Conferring, how bold of you! Didn't you confer titles to the 9 emperors? Why don't you confer titles to all 9 emperors and make you the emperor of the emperors? Isn't that better? Re-establishing the heavenly court and conferring titles to the 4 emperors. Your ambition is not small." Heavenly King Subduing looked at him coldly. "The heavenly court will not be re-established by me. This black pot was too big." Heavenly King Subduing was speechless. How could he blame him for this? But now, some things were hard to say. It was not that no one knew the 4 disciples. The Sea Guardian and the rest were furious. Fong glanced at them, then at Hong Yu. He was even more furious. Hong Yu had actually made him the scapegoat. At this moment, Fong did not care anymore. He snorted coldly. Re-establishing the heavenly court was done by Hong Yu's people. "Hong Yu, there are some things that you have done, so you have to bear the consequences. It's not your place to frame me." Both of them were on the same boat earlier. In the blink of an eye, they had turned against each other. Hong Yu laughed. "Heavenly King Subduing, I've already said that I'm not Hong Yu. I'm not qualified to re-establish the heavenly court. Emperor Ren has just entered from the outside world." Don't you know who rebuilt the heavenly court? Fong Ping was speechless. Both of them were not good people. He had thought that both of them were in cahoots earlier. Now it seemed like they each had their own plans. At this moment, Fong Ping snorted. Who knows what's going on between you two? There are people from all walks of life in the new heavenly court anyway, including people from the earthly emperor bloodline, people from the Fengtian bloodline, people from the earthly emperor god dynasty. How would I know who rebuilt it? Although that was what he said, Fong Ping added, but it's true that the Fengtian bloodline suppressed us humans in order to establish their position in the heavenly court. Fong looked at him and said mildly, Fong Ping, there are some things that you can't say. At this moment, Li Zhu said faintly, it's too complicated. So complicated. Everyone, why don't you just do it and clean it up? The Fengtian bloodline, Hongyu bloodline, and humans are all very complicated. There were many heavenly kings among the three bloodlines, but there were also many other heavenly kings. If it was messy, then let's make it even messier. We'll just kill them all. King Qian, King Kuan, Sea Guardian, Sky Chief, Sky Polarity, King Sun, King Zhen, Demon Emperor. There were also many powerhouses outside the three bloodlines. As soon as he said that, Fong Ping said angrily, Stop pretending. The divine general of the right under your command, Guchuan and Tian Yu, have been conferred as one of the 36 saints. You're also in cahoots with them. Stop pretending. The situation was getting more and more chaotic. Li Zhu laughed. Fong Ping, I'm a little curious. A heavenly king and even heavenly King Feng couldn't kill you, yet you almost killed Dotian just now. What's your strength? As soon as he said that, everyone looked at Fong Ping. Fong Ping almost killed a heavenly king, and he was almost forgotten by everyone. This guy was a little too powerful. Fong Ping said coldly, What? Divert attention? I was just about to join forces with everyone to kill Fengtian's bloodline, and you immediately focused on the humans. Li Zhu, do you think you can hide it from me? I know quite a lot about you. You're so capable. Back then, you killed the Palm Imprint envoy, who worked with Heavenly King Feng. After that, you personally worked with Feng. Do you think I don't know? One is guarding the catacombs, the other is alone overseas. The catacombs and overseas are both yours. You purposely stirred up the three realms and caused chaos, causing the war of the three realms to break out, causing countless deaths and injuries. In the end, you guys reaped the benefits. If it wasn't for Feng Buxiang and Dotian's death today, you wouldn't have done anything. Do you think I don't know about the shady business between you and Feng? I just didn't want to expose you before. Do you really think you're so great that you can scheme against everyone? Li Zhu sighed and chuckled. I don't want to quibble with you. Everyone in the three realms knows that Fong Ping is a good talker. Forget it, Fong Ping sneered. Pretending to be innocent? Now you're saying that you didn't kill the Palm Imprint envoy. You're worse than a pig or a dog. Do you dare to say it? If you dare to say it, I'll help you kill a heavenly king today. I'll kill whoever you want. We humans will pay any price. Childish? Childish my ass. Fong Ping sneered. Back then, when you killed the Palm Imprint envoy, you were injured and your origin was severely injured. You went to the cat tree for cat fruit to heal. I've already asked for it. It's been more than 2,000 years. Tell me, were you really born more than 100 years ago? Bullsh *T. Everything was exposed. Li Zhu was still smiling. He shook his head helplessly and said nothing. The garrison Heavenly King and Martial King looked at Fong Ping. Fine. Kid, do you really know something or are you just spouting nonsense? At this moment, the expressions of King Kuan and the others changed. King Kuan was suddenly enraged. He had always thought that the three realms was under his control. Now he realized he knew nothing. On the other side, beside Moon Spirit, Heaven's Pole gulped. What was going on? Complicated. They were all very sinister. There were so many stories in the three realms that I didn't know. The palm imprint envoy was killed? Li Zhu killed him? The palm imprint envoy and Feng worked together. In the end, the palm imprint envoy died and Li Zhu continued to work with Feng? Hong Yu was involved too. It seemed like he was working with Feng too? This relationship was so complicated that he could not understand it. Also, this Fong Ping fellow was also very scary. Heaven's Pole looked around. It seemed like only the two kings were more ignorant than him. No, the two kings might be Hong Yu's men. This was also very complicated. Heaven's Pole looked at Moon Spirit again. This was Hong Yu's wife, King Kuan's sister-in-law. No matter how he thought about it, he was the most helpless one. Heaven's Pole quietly took a few steps back. He was not crazy anymore. If he continued to be crazy, he might not even know how he died. Each was more sinister than the other. Maybe the people who had just teamed up with him would turn around and kill him. Just now, Hong Yu, Feng, and Li Zhu were still in the same group. In the blink of an eye, it was a mess. Previously, the Demon Emperor did not have a good relationship with the humans. He even hunted down King Wu and the others. Now, Fong Ping was here. When he asked him to attack, he attacked. The Weapon God Envoy, who claimed to be in the same group as the Feng Tian clan, killed the Overlord in the blink of an eye. Was he in the same group as the humans? Heaven's Pole was still retreating. He felt that he could not stay any longer. He should have taken the opportunity to go out just now. No, a few powerhouses had barged in. He really could not go out. Now, these people did not seem to want to go out. He really wanted to go out, but unfortunately, he could not. Everyone was silent. Were they still going to fight? Who should they fight? At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly said, "King Kuan, your lair has been destroyed by the Fengtian clan. Most of your people are dead. Are you willing to join forces with us?" Feng laughed. He could not help but laugh. "Fong Ping, even if you want to frame me, you..." Before he could finish, Fong Ping sneered. Suddenly, he took out an item and tossed it casually. In the next moment, two people appeared in the air. Taoist Feng Yun and Dexing. Taoist Feng Yun seemed to be just a program. He sighed. "Sect Master, the divine sect has been destroyed. The Fengtian clan killed their way into the heavenly court, killed Thunder, Flaming Ji, destroyed the sect master's avatar, took away heavenly wood, destroyed the heavenly court. Dexing and I can only join forces for the humans who have not been completely destroyed. Sect Master, the Fengtian clan should be killed. The sect master wants to avenge the gods of the divine sect." Spiritual energy doppelganger, a programmed thing. However, it was indeed Feng Yun and Dexing. Fong Ping had wanted to come in for a long time. Previously, he was forced by the Fengtian clan. He was also thinking about what to do if he met King Kuan after coming in. There was no other way. Push the blame. Who should he push it to? Of course it was the Fengtian clan. As a matter of fact, he met King Kuan as soon as he came in. King Kuan frowned. "My avatar died in the hands of the Heavenly Hound." It was not like he did not know who killed the avatar. Did Fong Ping really think that he was an idiot when it came to Tengu and Stonehenge? Fong Ping was speechless. The resurrection of the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian was planned by the Fengtian clan. "Don't you know?" "Of course I know who killed your avatar. Everyone saw it that day. It was the Heavenly Hound and the Spring Guardian, but they were resurrected by the Fengtian clan." King Kuan snorted coldly. He was still a little doubtful. Feng's expression was even colder. He looked at Fong Ping with an unfriendly expression. Fong Ping pointed to the sky. "Feng Yun and Dexing said it, not me. These two know that I'm going to escape here this time. They want me to tell them that they're having a hard time now. They're being hunted by the Heavenly Court Saints. King Kuan, I can't bribe these two. I don't have resources, I don't have imperial cultivation methods, and I don't have the strength to suppress them. Compared to me, the Fengtian clan is much stronger. If I really want to suppress them, They should be suppressed by the Fengtian clan, of course, unless they betray you. Believe it or not, it's up to you. King Kuan's expression was still ugly. Who destroyed the divine sect? He knew that the Avatar was killed by the Heavenly Hound, but he did not know the details. Now that the Fengtian clan was involved, he felt that things were getting complicated. Previously, he was suspicious of the humans. The Heavenly Hound and the cat were on good terms. The cat was with the humans, so he felt that the humans did it. But now the Fengyun and Dexing came forward and said that the Fengtian clan did it. Did these two betray him, or did they mean it? The situation was getting more and more complicated. Heavenly King Zhen and Zhang Tao looked at Fang Ping suspiciously. If the two of them had not heard from Tianmu, they might have been fooled by you. Why don't you change your expression when you lie? But then again, they were surprised when Tianmu said that the Fengyun and Dexing had joined forces with the humans. It was normal for King Kuan to be confused now. On one hand, it was his general who said it. On the other hand, he knew that the Heavenly Hound had destroyed his avatar. He did not know the details, so it was hard to judge whether it was true or not. At this moment, Fang Ping said again, "Venerable Emperor Yueling, this Hong Yu is fake. Not really fake. He's a kind of possession. He's a mixture of many fallen powerhouses' origins. Maybe Hong Yu is part of it, but not all of it. I don't know what you're thinking. Anyway, the Hong Yu now is definitely not the Hong Yu you think he is. Also, he disguised himself as the earthly emperor's avatar for 3,000 years and didn't even look at you. If you still think he's Hong Yu, your cultivation partner, then you can continue working with him. Outside, your father's disciple, Sage Yue, has already reached an agreement with me. We're working happily with Mount Wangu. Before I came in, Sage Yue told me to take care of you if I see you. After all, you're the North Emperor's daughter. She doesn't want to see you get hurt." Moon Spirit's expression changed. She looked at Hong Yu and asked in a low voice, Is what he said true? True or false? Moon Spirit said mournfully, 5,000 years ago, on the day the Earthly Emperor God Dynasty was established, the Earthly Emperor's sword wanted to fly to the Earthly Emperor God Dynasty. But that wasn't the Earthly Emperor's summon. It was someone else's. As for the Earthly Emperor's sword, I've already given it to you. You gave it to me to protect myself. The Earthly Emperor's sword no longer needs it. Only you can summon it. Tell me, is it you? You're so cruel. We've been neighbors for 3,000 years, but you've never once come to see me. I've waited for you at the peak of Mount Wangu for 3,000 years. Even when the dynasty was destroyed, you didn't even come to see me. Why? Does becoming an emperor mean giving up everything? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that I'll expose you and tell everyone that you're Hong Yu? Why? Moon Spirit's voice was mournful, her eyes bloodshot. I don't want to believe it. I'd rather believe that Hong Yu died a long time ago. He died in the battle that destroyed the heavenly realm. Moon Spirit's voice was mournful. Today, tell me, are you really Hong Yu? Hong Yu's expression changed. After a long while, he said slowly, Hong Yu is dead? Moon Spirit's blood tears fell. You are indeed no longer Hong Yu. Moon Spirit smiled sadly. She knew. She had lied to her for 8,000 years. She lied to her that Hong Yu was dead, killed by someone else. More than 2,000 years ago, Unquestionable Jian came to Mount Wangu and told her that he had seen Hong Yu and inherited Hong Yu's swordsmanship. Moon Spirit thought that since the dynasty was destroyed, he would come to find her. However, he did not. Still not. She lied to her again. He was dead, or she did not want to implicate him? After all, it was a huge, dangerous matter. But today, he had appeared for many days and kept avoiding her. He even kept repeating that he was no longer Hong Yu. Hong Yu was really dead. Celestial Pole was on the verge of breaking down. Let me go. He was going crazy. Moon Spirit had been looking for a cultivation partner for 8,000 years. He had thought that she did not know anything. But now, she seemed to know who Hong Yu was and that he was the earthly emperor's clone. That sent chills down his spine. This woman was so tolerant. The earthly emperor god dynasty had been established for 3,000 years, but she had not said a word. Previously, she had been acting like everyone had wronged Hong Yu. Now that he thought about it, this woman probably knew the situation better than anyone else. Celestial Pole continued to retreat. He could not stay here anymore. He had thought that Moon Spirit was as miserable and pitiful as him. Now that he thought about it, this woman knew more than he did. Father, Celestial Pole began to call him father again. He missed the carefree days when his father was still alive. No one plotted against him. At least, no one dared to plot against him. But now, every step was treacherous. In the next moment, Celestial Pole suddenly fled. He was the first to escape. No one was going to deal with him, but he ran. He ran very fast. He could not stay here any longer. He ran. Everyone was confused. Why did he run when no one was going to deal with him? Did it have anything to do with him? On this side, Celestial Pole ran away. Moon Spirit looked at Hong Yu, smiled bitterly, and turned to leave as well. King Qian looked at everyone and said nothing. I'll leave too. He tore through the void and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Sage Tian Kuei looked left and right. A group of people were plotting against each other. As a loner, he did not want to join in the fun anymore. Tian Kuei ran away. Seeing that everyone had run away, the two kings glanced at Hong Yu. Seeing that Hong Yu did not say anything, they paused for a moment and left as well. They could not stay here any longer. The scene was much quieter now. King Sun and King Zhen had also run away with King Qian. No one knew if they were hiding in the void. King Kuan, Hong Yu, the Demon Emperor, Li Zhu, Heaven Dotian, Feng, God Creation Envoy, Sea Guardian, and the humans were the only ones left. Fang Ping licked his lips, eager to make a move. There are so many people on my side. The Demon Emperor was one. Although the God Creation Envoy only had one avatar, didn't Feng only have one avatar? Could he take the opportunity to kill a few? While he was still thinking, Heavenly King Zhen's voice rang in his mind. Stop plotting. The situation is complicated now. Those who left are probably hiding in the dark. If we really start a war now, someone might take advantage of us. Fang Ping was a little unwilling. Kill Heaven Dotian, a crippled Heavenly King. This is a rare opportunity. Heavenly King Zhen was speechless. Why did you say that killing a Heavenly King was so easy? Even if Heaven Dotian was crippled, he was a Heavenly King powerhouse and had extremely strong recovery abilities. With the addition of Feng's mentality, he still had the combat strength of a Heavenly King. If they really fought, once someone seized the opportunity, those Heavenly Kings who ran away might come out to take advantage of them. He should take the opportunity to avoid them, lest the others join forces. Let's go. At this time, old Zhang also sent a voice transmission. Fang Ping came in. He had a lot of questions to ask now. If he stayed here for too long, it would be easy for problems to arise. It was not that the human race did not have enemies, they were everywhere. Fang Ping's few words made everyone not in the mood to fight together, but it did not mean that it could always be like this. Fang Ping was still a little unwilling. He wanted to kill Heaven Dotian before leaving. But now, even though there was no one to help on Feng's side, when the human race and the Fengtian bloodline were fighting, the others might not sit idly by. There's no hurry, there will be plenty of opportunities. Fang Ping comforted himself. Since I'm not in a hurry. Take it slow. If I don't kill a few Heavenly Kings this time, I won't go out. He also wanted to ask old Zhang and the others about their recent situation. Right now, some people were unknown enemies and he did not know too much about the situation. It was not easy to judge which Heavenly King was easy to fool. It would not be too late to come back after knowing the details. Thinking of this, Fang Ping sent a few voice transmissions. In the next moment, Fang Ping suddenly shouted, "Attack!" Fang Ping, Heavenly King Zhen, Old Zhang, God Creation Envoy, Demon Emperor. The five of them attacked together. Heaven Dotian and Feng were full of anger, unleashing all their strength. Instead of blocking, they tore space apart and escaped. Damn it, today was not the right time to come in. Just now, their escape was going smoothly. At this moment, they felt something was not right and used their mentality to sense. At this moment, Li Zhu almost cursed. With a rumble, a 7-petal lotus appeared with a slap of his palm. Blood spurted from his mouth, his palm exploded. Without a word, he turned around and ran. He was ready to run just now. Did he not think that Fang Ping and the others wanted to deal with the Feng Tian bloodline first? Who knew that they would turn around and deal with him? There was no justice in this world. Li Zhu tore the void, his speed extremely fast, disappearing in the blink of an eye. On the other side, the expressions of the Sea Guardian envoys changed drastically. One after another, they broke through the void and escaped. After attacking, the few people did not chase after them. Old Zhang said with a face full of emotion, "Interesting. After being chased for so many days, they actually killed them and ran away in panic today. It's quite satisfying." It was quite satisfying today. Look, this Li Zhu guy usually acted like he was a good person, not provoking anyone, saying that he was very weak, asking everyone not to hit him, but today, he was beaten until his true strength was exposed. Broken 7 strength. This guy hid his strength well. Old Zhang sighed. The few people from Celestial Terminus who had already escaped cursed in their hearts. Another schemer. Li Zhu broke 7. It was beyond their expectations. Li Zhu did not show such powerful strength previously. As for the escaping Li Zhu, he felt like vomiting blood. In fact, he was still vomiting blood, feeling extremely depressed. Weren't you guys going to kill the Feng Tian bloodline? Why did you suddenly attack me? There was no need to ask. It was that bastard Fang Ping's decision. Zhang Tao and the Heavenly King subduing had previously thought that they would not be enemies with him temporarily. After all, he did not show much hostility. However, as soon as Fang Ping came in, these people joined forces to deal with him. Who else could it be if not Fang Ping? They ran away, but Fang Ping did not give up. He roared, "Li Zhu, Feng Tian bloodline, Hong Yu, these guys are in cahoots. 4 heavenly kings, Li Zhu broke 7 peak, Hong Yu broke 8, Feng Yi broke 8, Fighting Heaven broke 6. Everyone, be careful when you meet them. Don't get close to them." Right, there are also the 2 useless kings, Tianji and Tianming. They are also in cahoots with Hong Yu. They can fight heavenly kings. Everyone, be careful. If you want to join forces with the humans, you can come to us. We will join forces and kill them. Otherwise, everyone will be in danger. Fang Ping, you are misleading people with lies. The humans are the strongest force. You are destined to be everyone's opponent. Fang Ping scolded, "Li Zhu, the human strength is obvious. Everyone knows it. What about you guys? How many heavenly kings and saints are hiding?" The saints and heavenly kings who have awakened in the outside world are all your people. Everyone, think about it. Is the hidden scarier or the obvious scarier? Don't think I don't know that you guys are still in contact with a few Chuwu leaders. Do you think the humans are so ill-informed? Do you think I'm one of those stupid old antiques who hide in the dark and plot against us? King Qian, the Sea Guardian, and the others have been in closed-door cultivation and are ill-informed. I'm not. Pretending to be weak with me serves you right. You people have schemed for tens of thousands of years and achieved nothing. You don't even dare to admit it. A bunch of trash. Fang Ping provoked. It was very satisfying. King Qian, the Sea Guardian, and the others who had already left looked terrible. They were looked down upon. This was nothing. They were all old, they could tolerate it. However, Li Zhu and the others were in contact with the Chu Wu supreme powerhouses. Was it true? I should have killed him the moment I saw him. At this moment, Li Zhu was also helpless. He had said it before. He should have killed him the moment he saw him. No one listened to him. Listen, this guy was spouting nonsense. He did not feel guilty at all. The most important thing was, some things were actually true. Although Fang Ping was spouting nonsense, some things were also his own guesses. Guessing was not against the law. It did not matter even if he guessed wrong. He just said it casually, and it might be useful. Now that he had done this, who would dare to get close to them? Didn't they see that Tian Chief and the others had gone their separate ways? They did not dare to work with them anymore. P.S. 7,000 words chapter, only 2 chapters left. If I stay up until the 3rd chapter, I still have to drag it out tomorrow. Chapter 1187. In the Fake Sky Grave. The sudden battle ended with the fall of the Overlord and the escape of all parties. The human side had gained the upper hand. In a dilapidated building, Zhang Tao and the heaven-suppressing king looked at Fang Ping strangely. The weak Fang Ping of the past was now shockingly powerful. Killing a saint, fighting a heavenly king, stirring up a storm in the 3 realms. Not long after entering the fake sky grave, everyone arrived on March 1st. It was only the beginning of May. In these 2 months, the world had been turned upside down. The 3 major domains had been destroyed, and so had the evil sections. The catacombs, Emperor Nan's bloodline, and Emperor Renhuang's bloodline had all lost their saints. Now, the Fengtian bloodline had lost their saints as well. Fang Ping stirred up a bloodbath in the 3 realms. Saints were slaughtered one after another. The number of true gods and emperors killed over the past few days was probably no less than the number of people who died in the fake heaven grave. Under Fang Ping's leadership, the weak humans dominated the 3 realms. The catacombs guarded by the 9 saints did not dare to invade. Human King Fang Ping. In just 2 short months, Fang Ping's name had spread throughout the 3 realms. He was truly known by the powerhouses, and no one dared to underestimate this 21-year-old human powerhouse anymore. In the fake heavenly grave, Fang Ping's first appearance stirred up a storm, leaving a deep impression on everyone. This was a human king, the king of this generation. He was not inferior to a martial king. In fact, he might even be stronger. King Wu stabilized the situation of the human race, allowing them to move forward with ease. The human king, on the other hand, had led the human race to expand their territory under stable conditions, turning the human race into a peak power in the 3 realms. At this moment, the heavenly King Zhentian and Zhang Tao had complicated looks in their eyes. Only they knew how much they were feeling. Fang Ping, who had stirred up trouble in the past, was still stirring up trouble now. However, after stirring up trouble, he was now on equal footing with them. As time went by, the human race had already stood tall in the 3 realms. Who dared to say that the human race was the weakest? Looking at the young Fang Ping, the heavenly King Zhen was filled with endless emotions. Zhang Tao also stared at Fang Ping for a while. As he stared, he smiled and reached out his hand to touch Fang Ping's head. What an affectionate expression! If bystanders were to see this, they would probably be greatly moved. The martial king stroked the crown, the inheritance was orderly. If this was recorded by someone, it might become a story in the future. However, Fang Ping did not think so. Creak, creak. The ear-piercing sound of friction even made sparks appear on Fang Ping's head. Fang Ping's expression darkened. He glared at Zhang Tao. What was the meaning of this? Why did you pinch my head? Did I offend you? Heavenly King Zhen, Devil Emperor, and the others watched from the side. Seeing the murderous intent in their eyes, they all took a step back. Were these 2 going to fight? Zhang Tao was still smiling brightly. Kid, your head is quite hard. Does it hurt? I'm afraid your hand will hurt. Don't worry, my hand can break the heavens. 9 refinements of the golden body, Yang Qi said. His skull is as strong as a heavenly monarch's. So what if you're a heaven breaker? If your hand hurts, just tell me. Don't pretend. Brat, you want to compete with me? You pinched my head. Do you think it's like before? Fang Ping's gaze was unfriendly. With the current me, killing a saint is a piece of cake. Killing a heavenly king is also just a matter of a day and a night. Don't look for trouble for no reason. Do you still think it's the same as in the past? Fang Ping's face was full of arrogance. Back then, you hit me whenever you wanted to, beat me whenever you wanted to, and did not give me a chance to speak whenever you wanted to. Try again now? Zhang Tao was still smiling. His large hand tightened, clutching Fang Ping's head. Sparks continued to erupt. Fang Ping's head swelled up. His hair stood on end like a divine weapon, piercing old Zhang's palm until it was on fire. Beside him, Boundless Force's eyes widened. What was going on? Was the former king and the current king about to fight? Was the King Wu dissatisfied that Fang Ping had taken the King Wu's position? Was the human race going to fight among themselves? Just as Boundless Force was feeling a little scared, Zhang Tao suddenly let go of his hand. His face was full of relief, but there was an indescribable sadness in his relief. You've grown up, you've really grown up. Zhang Tao's gaze was slightly gloomy. He said softly, Do you remember when I first met you? Fang Ping thought for a while and said gloomily, When the Tiannan Catacombs battle ended, I saw you in person for the first time in Tiannan. You still remember, of course. Of course, Fang Ping still remembered. Actually, not too long ago, the Tiannan battle was also the first time more than 10 rank 9 powerhouses participated in the battle. They destroyed the Tiannan Catacombs rank 9 powerhouses and conquered the Tiannan Catacombs. In that battle, King Axe and a few other rank 9 powerhouses died in battle. Many rank 8 and rank 7 powerhouses died in the catacombs. In that battle, Fang Ping came into contact with the bounded domain for the first time. It was also the first time his name spread among the rank 9 powerhouses circle. It was also that time when he came out of the Tiannan catacombs and met Zhang Tao. He met Li Zhen. That time, the Netherworld King and the Martial King left a deep impression on him. They would only fight for this lifetime. The 2 Sino nations' 2 new martial artists, who did not ask for resurrection or rebirth, told everyone that they would only fight for this lifetime. Since then, only a little more than a year had passed. At that time, Fang Ping had just entered rank 6. Today, Fang Ping could fight a saint. Zhang Tao said emotionally, Yes, the Tiannan battle ended, Sino Nation won. According to the intel I received, the one who contributed the most was MCMAU Fang Ping. In order to help Wang Jinyang find his instructor, Fang Ping went deep into the catacombs. A rank 6 martial artist. A second-year student. I'm a martial arts university student. Zhang Tao put his hands behind his back and smiled. That time, I met you, Wang Jinyang, and the rest. I've heard of you guys for a long time. In the first and second martial arts university championships, you, Fang Ping, made your name known everywhere and shook all martial arts universities. Not only that, I also know that you instigated Wu Quishan and the rest. The 10 high grandmasters went to Capital City together and forced the 3 major groups to give in. Tian Mu even scolded me, Zhang Tao, in front of the Capital City grandmasters, for not knowing the suffering of martial artists at the bottom level. At that time I knew you, Fang Ping. You're quite capable, and you have the gift of the gab. You just became the president of MCMAU Martial Arts Society, and you could already instigate Wu Quishan and the rest. You're a prick, a big prick. Zhang Tao looked at him and smiled. At that time you, Fang Ping, were still weak. But I like prickly people. The more prickly they are, the more trouble they can cause for the enemy on the battlefield. Li Zhen likes people who are calmer. Nan Yunhua likes people who are quieter. As for me, I like people who like to stir up trouble. Zhang Tao was high-spirited. He laughed. Because I'm that kind of person. When I was young, I stirred up trouble. I dared to do anything and was willing to do anything. When I was rank 6, I wandered around the Forbidden Zone. When I was rank 7, I went to the Forbidden Sea to hunt for treasures. When I was rank 8, I attacked the boundaries. There was nothing I didn't dare to do. The 3 ministers who took over cleaned up after me a lot, including the 2 guardians who founded neo-martial arts. They also helped me solve many big problems. I can't stay idle. I can't stop. When I reached rank 9, the previous minister died in battle in the catacombs. Zhang Tao suddenly said with a hint of sadness. At that time, I told myself that I couldn't be reckless anymore. King Wu was dead. The one who survived was Zhang Tao, one of the 3 ministers of Sino Nation. I became timid. I didn't dare to fight anymore. I didn't even dare to enter the catacombs anymore. I was afraid to die. I knew that when King Wu became active again, I would have a successor. Zhang Tao laughed. I've inspected many people. MCMAU's old vice-chancellor, including the current vice-chancellor Wu Quishan, the southern guardian Wu Chuan, the education ministry's Wang Qinghai. These people were all on my inspection list. At that time, I never thought of handing my future to the younger generation. I'm talking about the younger generation below 40 years old. Until you appeared. Zhang Tao's eyes shone. He laughed. The younger generation has risen so fast that it's beyond my expectations. Star Town's Jiang Hao, NMAU's Wang Jinyang, CCMAU's Li Hansong, FMS's Yao Qingjun, MCMAU's Fang Ping. It's too fast. Zhang Tao laughed. Haven't you noticed that ever since your rise, King Wu's name has appeared in the catacombs again? Before this, I haven't fought for many years. Li Zhen often fights with the catacombs powerhouses. As for me, even if I fight, it's only in the air. I don't fight anymore. After King Wu broke through to the peak, he had almost never fought with powerhouses again. It was very, very rare. However, during the period when Fang Ping rose, King Wu's name resounded in the catacombs again. He fought everywhere and fought with true kings, because Zhang Tao felt that someone could take over his position in the future. He had his eyes on Fang Ping, especially when Fang Ping entered rank 7 quickly. At that time, although he was still stirring up trouble, Zhang Tao felt that his opportunity had come. When you entered the restricted area that time, MCMAU and the catacombs were at war. I had the intention to train you. I wanted you to understand that the big picture is more important. Zhang Tao said lightly, "What's the big picture?" Humanity's future is the big picture. No matter how strong an individual is, it's still an individual heroism. The human race needs to be strong, and that's in the whole. However, that time, I realized that you and I are different. Zhang Tao looked at Fang Ping. I am me, and you are you. I wanted to cultivate you into a second Zhang Tao. Obviously, I was wrong. What the human race needed was not a second Zhang Tao or a second martial king. One more martial king would not change anything. You are yourself, Fang Ping. The facts have proven that you've done very well. Maybe there are some imperfections, but when it comes to big things, there's no perfection. You've far exceeded my expectations. If that's the case, I think it's not wrong to hand the human race over to you. I've chosen the right person. At this moment, Zhang Tao was less unruly and more solemn. Since you can do it well, then I'm relieved. Originally, I was worried that after I left, the human race might be in big trouble. You're more impulsive than me, and you're still young. When you think about things, you often don't consider the consequences. After Zhang Tao said that, something suddenly appeared in his hand. At this moment, the God Creation Envoy's avatar, the Demon Emperor, and the Heavenly King's expressions changed slightly. Fang Ping fixed his eyes on it. It was a little strange. It looked like a square seal, not a saint's token. This. I'll leave it to you, Zhang Tao. At this time, the Heavenly King spoke. The Heavenly King was no longer playful. He said solemnly, "Why now? After all, Fang Ping is still young." Zhang Tao ignored him and said, "This is not something important. This square seal was refined from the Earth's famous mountains, the water of the Great Lake, the chi of powerhouses, and a drop of blood from dozens of ultimate realm martial artists, as well as hundreds of countries around the world, 6 holy lands, and various forces approved and refined a seal together. The human race seal. There was no practical meaning. It was just a symbol. The human race of this generation might not approve of it. Today, Zhang Tao." The Heavenly King spoke again. The God Creation Envoy's eyes flickered, and the Demon Emperor's expression changed. He knew about this seal. Jiang Hao had been thinking about it for a long time. In the beginning, only Hua Nation recognized it. After that, some countries joined in one after another and recognized this seal. After that, King Wu fought everywhere and displayed his divine might. The 6 holy lands recognized this seal one after another. As a result, it became a seal recognized by the leaders of all the forces of the human race. Perhaps it could be called the Human King Seal. It was not a divine weapon, nor was it a sharp weapon. It was a symbol of honor and status. At this moment, the Heavenly King said solemnly, "The Human King Seal is not a treasure, and Fang Ping is still young. Even if his battle results are brilliant, you are still alive. There is no need to rush." Zhang Tao smiled and said, "Because of this, it might be better to give it to him now. If I give it to him, I can relax and go all out. I don't have to worry about anything anymore." Zhang Tao's somewhat smooth aura disappeared in an instant. Like a sharp sword, he said in high spirits, "Did I, King Wu, rely on my mouth to achieve the title of King Wu? No. I relied on killing enemies to obtain the title of King Wu. Now I don't dare to fight. I don't dare to fight to the death. I'm afraid. I have something in my heart. I don't dare to fight to the death. I'm afraid that, if I die, what about the human race?" Zhang Tao looked at him and said coldly, "Do I count on you? No matter how strong you are not human. In your heart, the human race may be important, but what is important is not the human race, but the future and what it can bring you. I don't dare to die. On the day my godfather died in battle, I didn't dare to die. It was difficult to move forward, and the road ahead was lost. Who could make me feel at ease? You can't. You've hidden too much. No matter how good you are to the human race, I'm not at ease. I'm afraid that one day, you will feel that the human race has become a burden and you will turn around and leave." "Who are you?" "You are the subduing king. Suppress the 3 realms, suppress the world, the expert of the initial martial era, the guest of honor of the 9 emperors and 4 emperors." Zhang Tao gazed at him without blinking, at this powerful being who had been secretly guarding the humankind for 8,000 years. The human race had the present, and the subduing king was number 1. However, he was still worried. Zhang Tao then looked at the God-crafting envoy and the demon emperor and said softly, "You have hidden too much from me. You have hidden too much from the human race. You suppressed this God-crafting envoy, you secretly supported the demon emperor, these. I know a little, but I don't know much. I don't say it and I don't dare to say it. Because I'm afraid. I'm afraid that you will ignore the human race, leave, and let go. I admit I am very utilitarian, but I have to be responsible for the 6 billion people. You have protected the human race for 8,000 years. You are the benefactor of the human race, a hero, but you are still not human." Zhang Tao looked at him again and said in a low voice, "You have never acknowledged the new martial arts. In your eyes, the new martial arts might just be inevitable, just your masterpiece, and not an era that you are willing to integrate into. You lack something. I know, I knew it a long time ago. You are still high and mighty, and you do not see yourself as a part of the new martial arts, do you? Subduing King, I am not denying you today. I do not have the right to deny you. I just want to say that this is the future of the human race, not the future of you, Subduing King. If one day you acknowledge the human race, this seal. Maybe it will not be like this. The cat had once said that the martial king and the subduing king would definitely fight. Fong Ping had heard this before, but he had long forgotten about it and did not take it seriously. But today, Fong Ping seemed to have understood a lot. The subduing king's expression was cold and solemn. He looked at Zhang Tao and said after a while, "Zhang Tao, your wings have hardened, so you feel that you don't need to rely on me anymore, right?" "That's not the case," Zhang Tao said seriously. "If it were not for you, even now, the human race would still be struggling. I just don't want to fall out with you at the last moment and become your mortal enemy. Today, Fong Ping is here, and I am also acknowledged by the human race and me as the king of this generation. I am here, Fong Ping is here. Today I want to hand over everything, Senior. This is the change in this, I have to make it clear. I also want to tell Fong Ping that you, Subduing King, have not acknowledged the human race. Senior is the support of the human race, but you are not the human race. You and I have to admit this." The Subduing King smiled faintly. "Do you have to be so clear? The survival of the race can be ignored by others, but the king must know. I have no ill intentions, otherwise, the human race would not have come this far. I have never denied anything, Senior. I am just doing my duty." The Subduing King was silent. After a long time, he sighed softly. "Some things, forget it. Since you say so, it's up to you." Zhang Tao said no more, holding the seal and looking at Fong Ping. Fong Ping looked at the small seal and reached out to touch it. It was cold to the touch, but the material seemed ordinary, and it did not have much power. He took it in his hand and weighed it. Zhang Tao watched him toss it up and down, the corner of his mouth twitching. This kid was more reliable. Fong Ping tossed it and threw the seal back. Zhang Tao hurriedly caught it, no longer as serious as before, and scolded angrily. "Be careful, don't throw everything around, this is the Subduing King seal," Fong Ping said casually. "What Subduing King seal, Emperor seal? Take it yourself, I don't want it, what's the use of this thing? You are eager to get rid of everything, eager to let go of the pressure and give all these to me, why?" Fong Ping said impatiently. "I have just reached the peak, you are already a heavenly king, and you don't want to shoulder it yourself, you want me to shoulder it, don't you feel embarrassed? I have not even caused you trouble, and you are still giving me trouble, do you think I am stupid?" Fong Ping humphed. "You even gave me the big trouble of the Subduing King, how can I shoulder it?" The Subduing King's gaze was unfriendly. What did they mean? These two said that he was a big trouble in front of him, with a tone that said he would shoulder it. What did that mean? Zhang Tao also scolded loudly. "It is true that the Subduing King is trouble, but he is also a help. This old man is powerful, he will not fall out now, you are a human king, he will help you in the future. This old man is with me now, that is because I am still a human king. When you become the real king of the human race, this old man will come to your side. Don't you like to collect stamps, collect powerhouses? Cat, Heavenly Wood, God Forging Envoy, Devil Emperor. These people have all been gathered by you, even the 4 reincarnations of the 4 emperors have been gathered by your side, now you have gathered the old Subduing King, you are only short of emperors." On the side, the 3 powerhouses looked at each other, ready to make a move. Was it too late to kill these 2 generations of human kings now? What was this? What were these 2 bastards talking about? Were they transparent people? Did they think they were stamps, casually collecting stamps? Fong Ping shook his head and said, "No. I don't care about this, I am not your match now, you hold on by yourself, don't look for me for these things. It is very tiring to deal with these old fellows, don't you see that I have aged a little recently?" The subduing king has lived for so long and has always been on the human side. He knows us too well. It is harder to fool us than the other old antiques. Anyway, I am not interested in scheming with him. If you have the strength, then fight with him. Enough! The subduing king could not help but shout, his eyes sharp as he stared at the two of them. In the next moment, under their shocked gazes, the subduing king raised his hand to the sky, grabbed the two of them, and squeezed them until they almost spat out white foam. Damn! The subduing king scolded. That's enough. Acting in front of me, the two of you are still a little lacking. Provoking me? It feels good to mock me a few times? When I roamed the 3 realms, the two of you were not even cells, and you still dare to do this to me. Now that your wings have hardened, you want to rebel? Do you think I can't see the look in your eyes? Why don't you stop pretending? You have to pretend a little more, the two of you cry. Maybe my heart will soften. The subduing king's hand was so tight that the two of them almost stuck out their tongues. Fang Ping's face was full of shock. What kind of strength did this old fellow have? Zhang Tao's body was also squeezed until it shrank. He could not help but curse. I knew you were hiding your strength. Although the two of them did not unleash their strength and did not resist much, he was still a heavenly king with the strength of a broken 6. The old fellow had pinched them with one hand, and they did not even have time to run. How strong was this guy? Breaking 7 was for sure. As for whether it was the peak of breaking 7 or breaking 8, it was still hard to say. The subduing king sneered. So what if I hide my strength? Hiding your strength is because you are weak. You are a little stronger. Now that you have broken 8 and broken 9, I will naturally not hide it anymore. If you are not convinced, then beat me up. Without some strength, you are still arrogant with me. I will beat you to death. You don't want to live a good life, but you insist on seeking abuse. The subduing king scolded with an unfriendly tone, making the forging god envoy and the demon emperor feel quite good. These two fellows were arrogant and despotic. Their attitude of not putting anyone in their eyes really made people very unhappy. Zhang Tao was helpless and said gloomily, "Then let me ask you, what do you mean? If you don't recognize the human race, then tell us what you want to do. If we can support you, we will support you. After all, you have helped the human race for 8,000 years. What do I mean?" The subduing king sneered. "You two brats are not qualified to ask. Wait until your strength is there. Without strength, you ask all day long, what are you asking? Don't say that I don't recognize the human race. I don't recognize you. Why should I recognize you? You two are stronger than me? Are you two more meritorious than me? What human king Dao or human emperor Dao? That's something that I don't want, and you're still being arrogant. I am an easy person to talk to. When the two of you beat me up and I am willing, then I will naturally recognize you. Can I be willing to talk to you?" The subduing king looked down on him. "When the old man tricked those peak experts, the two of you weren't even a cell, and now you want to fight with me." Fang Ping and old Zhang looked at each other, their eyes filled with helplessness. Forget it, it was better not to provoke this old fellow now. If they were not as strong as him, they would be beaten up if they provoked him. It was better to ignore him. Chapter 1188. In the dilapidated building, Heavenly King Subduing had taught both of them a lesson. He felt much better now. Fang Ping and old Zhang looked at each other helplessly. They could not do anything to this old man. He was really strong. At this moment, everyone sat down. They did not care about the mess. They looked at each other. Zhang Tao spoke first. "Unquestionable Jian, how should we deal with your body?" The demon emperor said nothing. What did he mean by how should he deal with it? At this moment, Heavenly King Subduing regained his composure. He looked at him and said slowly, "It's been 1,000 years. It's time to make a decision. 1,000 years ago, you faked your death and escape. You wanted to get rid of the schemes and control behind the scenes. Now, 1,000 years have passed. The one who schemed against you back then should be Feng. Now, Feng has also appeared. What do you think? Unquestionable Jian still said nothing. Fang Ping was curious. He smiled and said, Unquestionable Jian, is your body controlled by Jiang Hao or does it exist with your own consciousness? He was very curious. What kind of form was it? Were Mo Wen Jian and Jiang Hao considered one person or two people now? Was it one or two consciousnesses? Zhang Tao was not surprised that Fang Ping called out Jiang Hao's name. He had guessed it a long time ago. He just did not verify it. Today, Unquestionable Jian attacked because of Fang Ping's word. It meant that Fang Ping knew about it too. It was not surprising. The Demon Emperor's face was no longer illusory. It revealed a slightly cold face. His black martial arts uniform made him look even colder. At this moment, Unquestionable Jian looked at Fang Ping. After a long time, he said lightly, I am me. He is him. Unquestionable Jian is Unquestionable Jian. Jiang Hao is Jiang Hao. Fang Ping smiled. In that case, both of you are independent consciousnesses? Unquestionable Jian said nothing. Beside him, Heavenly King Subduing smiled. Not really. This body, although it has consciousness, it's only some remnant consciousness. It's not wrong to say that the real Unquestionable Jian is already dead. Fang Ping nodded. He thought for a while and asked, There are a few things I want to understand. 1,000 years ago, why did you bring all the human powerhouses into the catacombs? Why? At that time, many people were not strong. There were many rank 7s. Was it necessary to bring all of them in? And all of them died in battle. Unquestionable Jian glanced at Heavenly King Subduing and said lightly, Changing the world. If the old does not go, the new will not come. At that time, the martial path of the human world had already declined, and those that remained were actually martial artists of the martial sections. The human world wanted to start a new martial path civilization, and the old should all disappear. Fang Ping frowned. Don't you think it's cruel? Those people are also martial artists of the human world. You're just sending them to their deaths. Cruel? Unquestionable Jian looked at him. If it wasn't cruel, do you think there would be today's neo-martial artists? If it wasn't cruel, would you be where you are now? That time, the weakening of the catacombs and the human world was a new beginning. It's time for the rotten and the old to scatter. So, you're doing this for the humans? From what Fang Ping heard, it seemed like he was doing this for the sake of humanity's neo-martial arts. Unquestionable Sword said indifferently, Not really. It's just that the martial way of the past has already declined. Since that's the case, why don't we start anew? Many people have this thought. 1,000 years ago, the old fogies of the martial arts world were already preparing to come out of seclusion. It was you who forced them into hibernation until now. Why? Because the timing isn't right. Opportunity? Fang Ping grasped the main point, his eyes burning. You know what's going to happen in the future? I don't believe you know that 1,000 years later, a new era will be opened. Don't tell me you can predict the future? I'm very curious. Why did they all wake up in this era? I don't believe it's an accident. Someone must have secretly set it up and gathered everyone in this era. Who is it? The 9 emperors? I realized that the living heavenly kings know something more or less. Otherwise, they wouldn't have all appeared now. Beside him, Heavenly King Subduing smiled faintly. Some people know, some are just guessing. That's right. Gathering in this era was arranged by someone. Who? What's the purpose? Fang Ping asked. Heavenly King Subduing pondered and said, As for who specifically, it's hard to say. The 9 emperors and 4 emperors might all be involved. Most of those who were killed back then didn't die. They've all been revived. This requires extremely powerful strength and control. The strength of those who died is different. how to ensure that they can all be revived at the same time, and how much origin is left behind so that they can all be revived 8,000 years later. This isn't something an average person can do. What's the purpose? Heavenly King Subduing was silent for a moment, then said softly, maybe it's for the sake of a new Tao, to solve some of the flaws in beginner martial arts and origin, maybe. It's a struggle for power. Some people wanted to become the only one in the three realms. Some of the things that happened back then were also confusing. How could outsiders know everything? The 9 emperors and 4 emperors should know a little, but they might not know everything. Some of these people know clearly, but some are forced to participate. As he spoke, he looked at the God Creation Envoy. The God Creation Envoy was a little innocent and said gloomily, "Old man, don't look at me. This old man actually doesn't know much." Yes, this old man was the one who created the immortal origin. But back then, when he was creating the immortal origin, the 9 emperors came to me and asked me to cooperate. Could I refuse? Extracting the great Tao of the human world and stripping away the energy of the human world. Later, even the land started to carry out such a plan. Gradually, the entire 3 realms were included. The late stage of the immortal origin has already exceeded this old man's expectations, and this old man is unable to control it. Fang Ping asked, "What exactly is the immortal origin?" Immortal origin, the God Creation Envoy thought for a moment before saying, lifeline. The immortal origin might be considered the lifeline of the 3 realms. The immortal origin is considered a divine weapon, but it has also exceeded the scope of a divine weapon. The 9 emperors have modified it a lot, and I'm not too sure either. But I know that the current immortal origin is definitely different from the one back then. If the immortal origin is destroyed, the 3 realms might experience a catastrophe. Fang Ping frowned. Zhang Tao also said in a low voice, "Catastrophe? What catastrophe?" "It's hard to say." The God Creation Envoy thought for a moment and said, "There are some things that I really don't understand. Back then, only the 9 emperors and 4 emperors were qualified to know about this." "The 9 emperors and 4 emperors are in cahoots?" Fang Ping frowned and said, "According to what you said, the 9 emperors and 4 emperors have a lot of plans, so aren't they in cahoots? Why did they fall out?" The God Creation Envoy smiled bitterly. This old man didn't have that kind of strength back then. After creating the immortal origin, I left the heaven realm, so how would I know so much? I don't know much about the later stages, but the creation of the immortal origin might have something to do with beginner martial artists. Heavenly King Subduing also said, beginner martial artists participated in it. Back then, a group of beginner martial artists did not die. Later on, when the war broke out, some beginner martial artists also participated in it. When Heavenly King Subduing said this, he pressed his hand and said, "There are some things that we know, but most of the key information is on the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. What we know is only some incomplete information. If we say it, it might not be beneficial. Instead, it will mislead you." Heavenly King Subduing shook his head. "It's not that we don't want to say it. First, your strength is not enough. It's not good for you to know. Second, what you know is only what you heard from us. Some things, if we say it, carry some subjective emotions, it will easily make you lose your judgment." Fang Ping snorted lightly and did not ask any more. However, at least he knew some things. The relationship between the 9 emperors and 4 emperors was more complicated than he imagined. At this time, everyone's gaze fell on the demon emperor again. Unquestionable Sword closed his eyes and did not look at them. Heavenly King Subduing glanced at him and did not say anything. 1,000 years later, what would Unquestionable Sword choose? The current him was only a remnant of his spiritual consciousness and flesh. He could not be considered a complete person. Would he choose to merge with Jiang Hao? After merging, who would take the initiative and who would be passive? After merging, would they be the Demon Emperor or Jiang Hao? Or would they continue to maintain it? Fang Ping also did not know the Demon Emperor's plan. This, Jiang Hao did not mention. Heavenly King Subduing did not mention him and said, "Since Fang Ping is here this time, then this old man will talk about the next plan." Heavenly King Subduing said, "Blindly killing people is not the solution to the problem. No matter how many people you kill now, it might not affect anything. The key is to strengthen yourself. Fang Ping, if you and Zhang Tao want to strengthen yourselves, there are a few ways now. And here, there is one thing that is very suitable for you." Heavenly King Subduing said slowly, "Collect 36 saint tokens, 8 Heavenly King tokens, and the 9 Emperor's seal." Fang Ping said in a low voice, "I know this, it's very useful, but for the improvement of our strength, it's very helpful, especially for you." Heavenly King Subduing looked at him. "You're walking a different path. Fang Ping, if you walk the origin path, you might never be able to get rid of some things, and the Emperor path, I don't know if the Emperor path can change some things, but since you've walked this path, then the 9 Emperor's seal is very suitable for you." At the side, the God Creation Envoy also said, "In this 3 realms, it's hard to say who is the strongest divine weapon, the immortal source or the 9 Emperor's seal. These 2 are actually not offensive divine weapons, but at that point one more offensive divine weapon doesn't mean much." The God Creation Envoy said seriously, "If you collect all the 9 Emperor's seals and combine them again, and then fuse with your current Emperor seal, it might be of great use." 8 Heavenly King seals. Heavenly King Subduing continued, "This old man has one, the 4 kings of Qian, Kun, Sun, and Zhen each have one. According to what you said, there is 1 kingly seal over at the catacombs. This is 6 Heavenly King seals, and we're still missing 2 Heavenly King seals." Fang Ping hurriedly said, "Then where are these 2 Heavenly King seals? Are King Can and King Dui dead?" King Li was dead, this was confirmed. Back then, he had died in the Earth Emperor Divine Dynasty, and even the kingly seal had been taken away by the catacombs. This was also the Heavenly King behind the realm beyond heaven. These 2 people, Heavenly King Subduing thought for a while before saying, "It's very likely that they died a long time ago and haven't appeared for many years. Of course, we can't rule out the possibility of them reviving. They might have died in the heavenly realm back then. Since that's the case, it's possible for them to revive." These 2 Heavenly Kings were different from the others. The other Heavenly Kings were all alive, and the 2 of them had probably really died at that time. If they could still recover, it would probably be soon. 36 saint tokens. All these years, this old man has collected 3, Heavenly King Subduing explained. Losing these saint tokens actually almost means that those people are completely dead. You also have 3 saint tokens in your hands? Yes. Fang Ping nodded. He did have 3. I have 3, that's 6 saint tokens. There are 6 over at the catacombs. In addition, there are still 8 of the 36 saints alive here. Fang Ping said in surprise, "So many?" "Of course, the 3 sect protectors and Sky Chief are 4. There are also 4 other people who came in before, but they don't show up very often. They have been looking for opportunities. That's 20 of them." Fang Ping thought for a while and said, "Then there are still 16 missing." "That's not true." Heavenly King Subduing laughed and said, "In this place, some people also have saint tokens. Boundless Mountains Venerable Emperor Wuya has 1. Immortal Seeking Islands Priestess Wenxian, Weiyu Mountains Venerable Emperor Qintong, Jade Dragon Skies Venerable Emperor Yulong. These people all have saint tokens." Heavenly King Subduing explained again, "Some of these orthodoxies were actually passed down by some of the saints back then. Some were found in the source universe by coincidence. Now, there are at least 25 saint tokens that can be found. I'm afraid the rest will be revived one after another, and maybe we can find them in the source universe." The God Creation Envoy added, It's mainly the 9 Emperors' seal. The ash cat is messing around. If it had said that the 9 Emperors' seal was in its hands, it wouldn't have. Heavenly King Subduing laughed and said, "That's fine. If we really gave it to them long ago, it might not be useful. Moreover, without the 9 Emperors' seal as a guide, these people might not come in." When he said this, Fong Ping smiled shyly and said, "Senior, then why don't you lend me your Heavenly King's seal and 3 saint tokens?" Heavenly King Subduing had 3 saint tokens. This thing, how should he put it, Fong Ping felt that it was still very helpful to stabilize his source world. Moreover, after it was stabilized, it could rapidly expand the source world. It was a good treasure. This was only a saint token. What about the Heavenly King seal? Heavenly King Subduing sneered and said, "What do you have to exchange for it?" What? Reaping without sowing, this is not the style of you neo-martial artists. Heavenly King Subduing sneered and said, "What do you have to exchange for it?" Fong Ping was depressed. "What do you have?" "Senior, I'm so poor now, what do I have to exchange for it?" Zhang Tao said sarcastically, "What do you want? At most, I'll spare your life in the future and not beat you to death. Isn't that enough?" Heavenly King Subduing's expression was ugly as he glared at him. "What big words! Beat me to death? Believe it or not, this old man will beat you to death now?" Ignoring him, Heavenly King Subduing looked at Fong Ping and said, "I still have use for the Heavenly King's seal. I can lend you the 3 saint tokens, but this thing is mine. If you want it, you'll have to exchange it with something of equal value in the future, or other conditions of equal value." Fong Ping glanced at him, nodded, and did not refuse. He would get it first. 3 sage tokens, plus his own 3, that would make a total of 6 tokens. It would be very useful. Heavenly King Subduing did not say much. Soon, 3 saint tokens appeared in his hand. 3 small seals. Fong Ping was a little happy, hurriedly taking it. At this moment, another 3 seals appeared in his hand, a total of 6 saint tokens. Fong Ping held it, suddenly glanced at Zhang Tao, and smiled. "Old Zhang, do you want it?" Zhang Tao snorted and said disdainfully, "What use do I have for it? I still think that my strength is improving too quickly. You can keep it for yourself." He had indeed improved very quickly. Stabilizing the source, he had enough origin chi for his own use. Moreover, this thing lived for a long time. Since Fong Ping had already collected 3, he did not fight for this one. Once the saint token had been refined, it would belong to the owner, unless Fong Ping gave it up. But then, the suppression effect of the saint token would be gone. Fong Ping did not stand on ceremony. At this time, he looked at his own data. After thinking about it, the 3 saint tokens were lent to him by Heavenly King Subduing. They might not increase his wealth. Only then did he let out a sigh of relief. The current him was afraid that the system would really upgrade. If it upgraded, it would be troublesome. In this place there were countless powerhouses. Without replenishment, it would lose the ability to conceal one's aura. Even if Heavenly King Subduing and Old Zhang were here, it would not be safe. Previously, after killing Annihilation, he had obtained a saint token and a holy armor-level armor. As for the spear, he had thrown it to Jiang Hao. At this moment, Fong Ping's wealth had increased a lot. Safe. Now that he was safe, the 2 holy weapons had increased Fong Ping's wealth by about 30 billion. This meant that the value was as high as 300 trillion. Beyond imagination. The saint token was a combination part of a divine weapon. It was very valuable. The last time Fong Ping obtained the saint token, his wealth had increased by a lot, more than 10 billion points. A holy armor-level armor was slightly more precious than a weapon. It was probably comparable to a saint token. Fong Ping calculated for a while. A saint token might be able to increase his wealth by 15 billion points. Today, in order to deal with the Overlord and Heavenly King Overlord's pursuit, he had broken into their origins many times. He had also expended a lot. Each time, he had used up hundreds of millions of wealth. Including his own recovery, he had probably used up more than 10 billion in total. After going back and forth, Fang Ping had gained close to 20 billion wealth, 60 billion points vitality, 1,540,000 calories, 1,540,000 calories, mentality, 19,500 Hz, 19,500 Hz, can be cut, origin, vertical 2,400 meters, increase 114%, horizontal 8,800 meters, increase 88%. Combat techniques. God-slaying saber techniques, plus 9%. Combat techniques combination deduction, 1 million points / time strength control, 83% limit outburst, 397-5200 cal / 4789400 cal. Fang Ping had used up a lot of wealth. At this moment, he still had about 60 billion points. During this time, Fang Ping had mainly opened up the horizontal avenue. The width had already reached 8,800 meters. Vertically, the improvement was not slow either. It had only been a few days. Not long after he had successfully achieved Dao, Fang Ping had also reached 2,400 meters. In just a short period of time, while Fang Ping was mainly opening up the horizontal avenue, he had walked a distance of 400 meters. It was also shockingly fast. Fang Ping's mentality was almost at the standard of Emperor level. 20,000 Hz was the standard of a normal Emperor level. His limit had even reached the point of breaking 6. Of course, breaking 6 usually required a vitality outburst of 5 million calories. Hence, this was the watershed of a heavenly king. Depending on the region, the amount of energy needed to break through the 9 heavens would be different. On Earth, Fang Ping could break 6 heavens with 4.8 million calories. In the catacombs, it might be higher. It was about 5 million calories. Fang Ping's limit was not far from breaking 6. However, his outburst was only close to 4 million calories. There was still a long way to go before he could break 6. Fang Ping did not care too much. He had already improved very quickly. If he went any faster, his strength control would probably still decline. Old Zhang's strength control had always been very high for so many years. Recently, it had dropped a lot, barely breaking 6. After getting the 3 saint tokens given by Heavenly King suppressing, his wealth did not increase. Fang Ping did not care anymore. If he really wanted it, he could ask Heavenly King suppressing to give it to him. This old man might know something. I haven't completely refined the one that perished. Heavenly King suppressing gave me 3 more. 4 saint tokens. At this moment, Fang Ping held the saint token. There were some waves in his heart. I might have to witness something. His origin world had expanded a lot previously. Its diameter was close to 100 meters. This time, Fang Ping wanted to know. If its diameter reached 100 meters, would it cover his origin Dao? Previously, he had realized many things in Song Mao's cat world. This time, would there be changes? Thinking of this, Fang Ping looked at old Zhang, exhaled and said, I want to refine the saint token. Old Zhang, protect me. Zhang Tao raised his eyebrows and nodded quickly. Fang Ping purposely told him. Obviously, he was hinting that Zhang Tao could do it himself. The others did not need to. Heavenly King suppressing and the others were all shrewd with age. Heavenly King suppressing sneered. The saint token was given to him by me. Now he was turning his back on me. This kid was definitely a dog. If Heavenly Hound did not revive, he would suspect if Fang Ping was the reincarnation of Heavenly Hound. Fang Ping did not care what they thought. In this place, the one who could really make him feel at ease was old Zhang. He might have some changes this time. He had to be careful. At this moment, Fang Ping was alone in the dilapidated building. He had a combat palace outside. As for old Zhang and the others, they were all waiting outside. 100 meters. Is 100 meters diameter enough? or the radius. Fang Ping was also not sure how to change it. Song Mao's experience might not be useful to him. However, he would know after trying. At this time, Fang Ping began to refine the Saint Token. Very soon, the first Saint Token was refined and controlled by him at all costs. Just like before, the Saint Token landed in the origin world. It began to stamp and suppress the origin. In the origin world, MCMAU and Sun City became clearer and clearer. It was the same for those figures. They became clearer and clearer. At this moment, Fang Ping had already felt something. If the origin world was a little more stable, it might really be similar to the real world. Song Mao's cat world was infinitely close to the real world. The first Saint Token was refined. The world was stable. Fang Ping began to expend a large amount of origin energy to start expanding. The Saint Token would not actively help to expand the small world. Instead, it played the role of building a foundation. Could make the foundation more solid, just like the foundation. Only when the foundation was solid could a higher building be built. The first token, the second token, when he refined the second token, Fang Ping's origin world had already changed a lot. In the bright world, the feeling that the small world gave Fang Ping was already infinitely close to a circle with a diameter of 100 meters. As for whether it was round or spherical, Fang Ping did not care about this. After refining one more token, it can probably reach a diameter of 100 meters. Fang Ping was looking forward to it. Would there be changes? He hoped so. When Fang Ping was refining the third Saint Token, outside, Heavenly King Suppressing and the others suddenly turned around and looked inside. In the next moment they entered the origin world in an instant. At this moment they were almost together. The origin world was not too far away. At this moment, the apparitions of the few of them guarding the large planet opened their eyes, looking at a small planet below their large planet. It looked very far away. However, they were all peerless powerhouses. They could still see some changes. At this moment, the faraway planet did not change in size, but its color changed drastically. Very soon, the planet erupted with a dazzling light. Immediately after, it resumed its dimness. On the other hand, Heavenly King Suppressing and the others saw a strange scene. The faraway planet was initially golden. However, at this moment, a white zone suddenly appeared in the golden ball. They frowned. At this moment, the planet dimmed. Fang Ping seemed to have sensed something and covered up something. Chapter 1189. In Combat Heavenly Palace. At this moment, Fang Ping felt a huge change. An earth-shattering change. The moment the source world's diameter reached 100 meters, Fang Ping's physique was transforming. His mentality was changing too. This feeling was similar to the time when a 7th forging golden body was upgraded to 8 forging, then from 8 forging to 9 forging, creek. The golden body was changing. Some black matter was squeezed out, and some golden blood was also squeezed out. Fang Ping opened his eyes and clenched his fists. His expression changed for a while. It was different. It was really different. His strength had suddenly skyrocketed. If it was purely the increase in strength, he would not be so emotional. However, at this moment, his origin Tao was actually shortened. Wealth. 60 billion points vitality, 1,540,000 calories, 1,709,400 calories, mentality, 19,500 Hz, 19,999 Hz, can be cut, origin, vertical 2,300 meters, increase 104%, horizontal 8,700 meters, increase 87%, source world, 115 meters combat techniques, God-slaying saber techniques, plus 9%, combat techniques combination deduction, 1 million points / time strength control, 82% limit outburst, 420-5124 cal/51282000 cal. This, Fong Ping was shocked. His foundation was much stronger now. From a base of 1.54 million calories directly to more than 1.7 million calories. His origin Tao was shorter by 100 meters horizontally and vertically. The vertical increase was directly reduced by 10%. However, this increase actually became an increase in his physique. Horizontally and vertically, it was a total of 11% less. Fong Ping did some calculations. This 11% had transformed directly into his flesh. Fong Ping swallowed his saliva. This was Tsang Mao's origin Tao? But Tsang Mao was much stronger than him and had walked much further. Why did he only have such a small basic vitality? According to Fong Ping's rhythm, once he covered 1,000 meters, he would be much stronger than Tsang Mao. More than 5 million calories, Fong Ping was shocked. After the increase, his maximum strength had actually reached more than 5 million calories. How was this possible? What did this mean? It meant that if he covered 100 meters and his foundation was stronger, then there might be explosive growth. Should I still walk this path? Will it continue to increase like this in the future? Fong Ping clenched his fists. At this moment, he felt full of strength. 1.7 million calories basic vitality. Incomparably powerful. Powerhouses who had just entered the Heavenly King stage usually had a limit of more than 5 million calories. Even with a threefold increase in strength, their basic strength was only about 1,200,000 calories and above. This referred to the initial stage of Tao validation. More than 1,200,000 calories. With a threefold increase, he would have about 5 million calories of vitality. Of course, most heavenly kings had more than 1,200,000 calories. Even a newly promoted heavenly king like the Fighting King had exceeded this number. However, 1.7 million calories was something that many heavenly kings who had broken through 6 levels could not achieve. Is this the fusion of the origin and the beginner martial arts? Fong Ping's expression kept changing. Had Big Cat really embarked on a path that had never been seen before? At the same time, Shanghai, the gray cat was still training the Sika deer, but it suddenly stood up and entered its own world. In the cat's world, the gray cat was not in the mood to eat the fish-headed demon this time. At this moment, Tsang Mao was looking at the world of cats with a blank face. It could communicate with Fong Ping. All this while, it could look for Fong Ping to play through the source world. But now the cat suddenly crouched down, raised its butt, and wagged its tail. It was digging the soil. After digging for a while, Big Cat's eyes were full of confusion. Where was the path that led to the liar's source world? Why did it feel like it was blocked by someone? Its source world was very special. In the past, it could locate some people's source world through some means. In the source universe, it easily found the Martial King's source world. This was not something that ordinary people could do. Could locate Fong Ping in the past, and it could still do so now. But now the link between it and Fong Ping seemed to be blocked by someone. Big Cat's eyes were even more confused. Why was this happening? Big Cat began to dig the soil, quickly heading toward the previous path. After digging for a while in the source world, below it there seemed to be a thin film. Big Cat's claws poked and bounced back quickly. Poked again and bounced back again. Big Cat was depressed. Did the liar block his source world? Fong Ping had blocked his own source world. Or rather, he had blocked that path. In this way, it could not go over in the future. But it did not make sense. Big Cat was still confused. How did he block it? Back then, after Fong Ping came to its source world, the gray cat could often look for him, searching through the source. This was also the hidden door that the gray cat left behind, which was equivalent to leaving a door in Fong Ping's source world. But now, Fong Ping had closed this door. Big Cat knocked on the thin film and shouted, "Liar, open the door!" No one answered. Open the door! Big Cat shouted again. Still no sound. Big Cat looked dejected. What was going on? Why was he blocking the door? How did the liar block it? Big Cat raised its head, feeling a little tired. Soon, fish monsters roasted themselves one by one and fell into its mouth. The Ash Cat pondered as it ate. Suddenly, Big Cat stood up and muttered, "Don't tell me the liar has succeeded?" It suspected that the liar had covered a part of his Tao. In this way, the previous opening was naturally blocked. The origin Tao was an amplification, but it was also an opening. This was like a beehive. In the beehive, only an opening could be made for the bees to enter and exit. When these openings were blocked by someone, naturally, there was no way to enter or exit. Starting from the root, Fong Ping blocked 100 meters. This 100 meters blocked the core of his source world. At this moment, Big Cat could not enter. But Big Cat was unhappy. "I want to go in. I want to make a call. The liar had actually locked me outside the door. This was too infuriating. Go. This won't work." Big Cat scratched its head with its claws. "How should I go?" Soon, Big Cat bared its teeth. "I can roam the source universe. No, I have to go and scold the liar. Why did he close the door and not let me in?" In the next moment, Big Cat flew into the sky. Soon, Big Cat flew out of its cat world. Everyone else's world was a big star. Outside Big Cat's cat world, the cat world that he saw was not a big star. It was like a small ball, very, very small, dark, and almost invisible. In this boundless universe, it was almost impossible to notice this small black ball. At this moment, Big Cat was flying at high speed. Its speed was incomparably fast. It was not bloated and slow like what old Zhang saw. This cat drifted quickly in the endless universe. Sometimes its body would flash, appearing in countless distant places in the blink of an eye. Soon, an unusual little star appeared. Big Cat took a look and also saw the white area in the middle, surrounding the little star. At this moment, Fong Ping's figure was also sitting on the star. Big Cat muttered and flew over quickly. The moment Fong Ping's apparition was about to open its eyes, Big Cat's claws suddenly became incomparably huge. With a smack, it hit the apparition aside and said angrily, "Dummy, don't come. This was not real. Who was the fake trying to scare?" At the same time, Fong Ping's body trembled slightly. At this moment, he experienced the feeling of others being broken into the source world by him. Something was trying to break into his source world. In the next moment, Fong Ping appeared in his source world. At this moment, in the sky, the void seemed to be pierced. It revealed a plum-shaped shape. Fong Ping took a look and quickly realized something. He could not help but scold, "Big Cat, what are you doing?" He was very familiar with this paw print. One look and he knew it was Big Cat. What was this cat doing? Why was it invading his source world out of nowhere? Fong Ping quickly rose into the sky. The source world was his own world. The current him could actually do things to control this world, such as opening a door. Of course, doing this was very troublesome. It could easily cause the source to be unstable and the origin chi to overflow. Fong Ping did not care much about this. Very soon, a crack was torn in the sky. In the next moment, a cat quickly burrowed in. The moment it burrowed in, Big Cat saw Fong Ping's source world. Suddenly, its face revealed a mournful expression. "Meow. Meow. I'm so angry. You really blocked the door. Meow, I'm not happy. You're so fast." So fast, doesn't this cat look very stupid? Big Cat saw that circular world. It was already 100 meters in diameter. So angry. It walked like this too, but it had been so many years. Why was it so small? The liar was so fast that it made the cat sad. "I'm not a stupid cat." Fong Ping was speechless. Looking at the heartbroken cat, he said helplessly, "Why are you here?" Meow, you blocked the door and didn't let me in, so I came to look for you. Big Cat was a little sad. While screaming, it secretly absorbed the origin chi. Absorb a little, and then a little more. It had been a long time since it created a new fish demon. The liar's source world had so much origin chi. At this moment, the previously solid Sun City and MCMAU became much more illusory. Fong Ping's expression was dark. This cat was too much. If it continued to absorb, my world would be empty. Did it really think that I couldn't sense it? Big Cat screamed and continued to absorb. After a while, it stole a glance at Fong Ping. Seeing his ugly expression, Big Cat put on an innocent expression and stopped absorbing. At this time, it continued the previous topic. Liar, why are you so fast? It was too fast. It was so sad. Although the liar was powerful, it had a backer. But it had walked the same path as it. It had walked it for tens of thousands of years. You mean this source world? Fong Ping laughed. First, I'm a genius. Second, you're too lazy. Third, you're a cat, I'm a human. Cats don't fight, why walk so fast? Big Cat was speechless. After a while, it felt relieved. It nodded its fat head and said, Yes, forget it then. That's true, I'm a cat. It was normal for a cat to walk slower. It could not let itself work hard every day to open up the source world, right? That would be too tiring. Open up for a day and rest for half a year. This was the life of a cat. Could it be that it could open up for half a year and rest for a day? Fong Ping saw that it felt relieved and was speechless. I just said that and you agreed? This cat did not have the demeanor of a powerhouse. At this moment, Fong Ping also had questions to ask. He said hurriedly, Big Cat, you came at the right time. Just now, my origin covered Tao. After that, my basic aura increased a lot, but the origin is still increasing. Big Cat glanced at him, thought for a while and said, You're finished. What? The cat muttered, Your strength might be declining. You blocked the Tao passageway, so the origin chi can't enter. Now that it's increasing. Yes, it has something to do with you being so fast. Big Cat looked at the wide Tao that looked like a door to heaven and muttered, So wide. Fortunately, it's not completely broken. Liar, in the future, you might not have the origin increasing anymore. Even if you do, the origin chi you produce will be much less in the future. You'll have to replenish it yourself. Fong Ping's gaze changed slightly. You're saying that once I cover too much, my origin will be blocked? Yes. Big Cat nodded. But it's fine. When that time comes, you might be very strong. You'd better continue opening up the passageway. Make the passageway longer and wider, then you can slightly open up a gap and continue to increase the origin. Otherwise, the other's Tao will be blocked now. Fong Ping frowned and said quickly, Then can't I continue to push forward 100 meters? Now that his Tao was covered by 100 meters, could he not move the door forward a little? It should not be a problem, right? Big Cat was stunned for a moment and said foolishly, Will it work? I don't know, I didn't open up the passageway. It did not open up the passageway in the beginning. It had been walking on the origin all along, so it really did not know this situation. At this moment, Big Cat suddenly became interested. Could it be like this? Could it open up a passageway in the cat's world now? Would there be an increase for it too? It seemed very interesting. Of course, the increase in strength was secondary. The key point was that if the passageway was opened up, the origin chi could come in and it could have a feast. Fong Ping looked at Big Cat and did not ask any more questions. This cat was muddle-headed. Probably did not really understand what Tao it had walked on. At this moment, Fong Ping was quite satisfied with the changes this time. The Saint Token was very useful. It could actually help him extend the origin world. The 6 Saint Tokens played a huge role in reaching 100 meters in such a short time. At this moment, Big Cat suddenly said, Liar, this world of yours has become bigger. Without support, it will crack. What? If it's bigger, it will crack. Big Cat said matter-of-factly, but it's fine. We can use things like the origin soil to stabilize it, but you don't have it. Fortunately, you have those little tokens. You can put these things in the origin world in the future. They can help you stabilize the world. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly understood something. His origin world was stable because the materials used to make the Saint token had something that helped stabilize the world. The origin soil and some other things. Fong Ping asked quickly, "Is the origin water useful?" "Origin water?" Big Cat asked curiously. "Do you have it? If you do, can you give me some? I want it too. My cat world doesn't have a lake." Big Cat said regretfully, "There's no lake. Fish can only be raised on the grassland. Otherwise, I can raise fish in the water." In its cat world, fish monsters all grew on the ground like cabbages. Fong Ping initially thought that it was Big Cat's special hobby. Now that he thought about it, it turned out that there was no lake. It was hard on this cat, it actually thought of breeding fish. Fong Ping did have the origin water. He got it at the Fountain of Longevity. The 4 plump babies had settled down there now. They were still repairing their brain nuclei. At the thought of this, Fong Ping's consciousness moved. In the next moment, the ice block that was previously in the life gate appeared in the origin world instantly. Now, Fong Ping also knew some things. Behind the life gate, it was actually connected to the origin universe. If that was the case, if these plump babies could survive in the life gate, they could definitely survive in the origin world too. As soon as the ice block appeared, Big Cat's face was full of curiosity. Suddenly, he stretched out his claws and fiddled with the ice block. In the next moment, 4 plump babies appeared. The 4 plump babies were chattering and shouting. No one knew what they were talking about. When the plump babies saw Big Cat, they were a little scared at first. Then, they suddenly felt a little happy and flew toward Big Cat. Big Cat's eyes widened. When he saw the plump babies flying over, he suddenly slapped his claws again, slapping the plump babies away. "Water doesn't taste good." Big Cat looked a little disgusted. It did not want to eat this. It was all made of water. Even if it wanted to drink water, it would not drink it like this. These plump babies were spitting saliva just now. It was disgusted. At this moment, Fong Ping's origin world changed again. When this drop of water entered the origin world, it began to melt rapidly. At this moment, in the circular world with a diameter of 100 meters, a small puddle began to melt. Yes, it was just a small puddle. It was very small. The ice block melted extremely quickly. The 4 babies that were slapped away flew back while chattering and chattering. Very soon, a few of the babies burrowed into the small puddle. At this moment, Fong Ping's brain nucleus appeared. Looking at the small puddle, Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He threw the brain nucleus inside. The moment the brain nucleus was thrown in, Fong Ping's heart skipped a beat. He seemed to be able to sense this world more clearly. He had never tried to send the brain nucleus to the origin world. Normal people probably would not think so. Who would send the brain nucleus here? Since the brain nucleus had materialized, naturally, it would stay in the brain. At this moment, the brain nucleus had entered the origin world. Fong Ping felt that his perception of the entire origin world was clearer and his control was higher. Big Cat looked at his brain nucleus and said strangely, "Liar, why is your brain nucleus still here?" Big Cat muttered, "The brain nucleus is what controls this world. You have to integrate the brain nucleus with this world. That big sun in the sky is fake. No, you have to make it real. The brain nucleus is the real sun. This is your world. You are the master." In Fong Ping's origin world, his sun was fake. It was formed by a kind of medicinal pill created by the Emperor God. At this moment, Fong Ping heard what Big Cat said. The brain nucleus was the sun. In its cat world, the sun was its brain nucleus. Fong Ping was surprised. Really surprised. What did this mean? Was this the real origin cultivation method? Fong Ping did not know if there were others who walked this path, but he only knew about Big Cat. Big Cat was his pioneer. It was also the only pioneer who could give Fong Ping some pointers. Unfortunately, this cat was not reliable. He only said whatever came to his mind. The brain nucleus is the sun. Fong Ping looked at the fake sun in the sky. That was a medicinal pill created by the Emperor God. Did this mean that he walked the wrong path again? The brain nucleus is the source of power. No. It's the key to your future connection with the origin world. Big Cat knew something. While playing in the water, he said, "We're still walking on the origin Tao." Liar, someone said that someone will walk on a new path in the future. This is actually not a new path. Big Cat seemed to remember something and said again, "I think, in the end, I still have to integrate the origin world into my body." Fong Ping looked at it, as if it was the first time he knew it. Integrate the origin world into his body. All things were one? At this moment, Fong Ping still did not know how Old Manly transformed. If he knew, he might have a few more insights. Martial arts. In the end, martial arts still had to return to the body. Martial arts. Cultivation was still the body. Cultivation was only one. However, it did not matter. Fong Ping knew more than Old Manly. He thought of the scene he saw at Enlightenment Cliff. He saw that person shatter his own origin world. That person might be the one who created the origin Tao back then. Even he was shattering his own origin world in the end. What did this mean? Countless thoughts arose in Fong Ping's mind. Return to one. In the end, everything had to return to one. No matter how big the origin world was, it was still an external object. In the end, perhaps the origin world also had to return to one. Shatter the origin and integrate it into the body. Return to one Tao. Fong Ping's gaze changed again. This was a term that he suddenly thought of. It was also Old Zhang's Tao. Return to one Tao. Was Old Zhang also thinking of returning to one in the end? No, many people were thinking of this. The Demon Emperor seemed to be trying to walk on the path of Myriad Taos. Myriad Taos would return to one in the end. He wanted to break through the barrier. Unfortunately, Myriad Taos were too difficult. He probably failed. A long time ago, someone told Fong Ping what the seed of rebirth was. It was a seed condensed by the Demon Emperor to return Myriad Taos to one. The Demon Emperor was also trying to return Myriad Taos to one. If the Demon Emperor was Hong Yu, it meant that Hong Yu was also trying this Tao back then. No, there was also King Kuan. King Kuan was also trying. The gate of mapping that he created seemed to be for this. No, there was still the Fountain Guardian. He created the origin realm, seemed to be trying to find something, some opportunity, to return Myriad Taos to one. Old Manly too. Back then, he was also returning Myriad Taos to one. Return to one. It's not that everyone doesn't know about the origin's flaws. They're actually all working hard in this direction. At this moment, Fong Ping had an epiphany. It was not that he did not know. Everyone knew. Therefore, some top-notch powerhouses were trying to take this step, exploring new paths. These things were only comprehended by those who were extremely talented and powerful. Old Zhang might have comprehended something. As for Fong Ping, he also had some comprehension at this moment. Return to one, Fong Ping murmured. I've covered the origin Tao, but it's not enough. It's best if I can also integrate the origin world with myself completely, becoming a part of myself completely. Everything will return to one. Fong Ping was deep in thought. At this moment, the clouds were dispelled and the fog was revealed. He felt that his future direction was completely clear this time. In the next moment, Fong Ping grabbed the cat that was still playing in the water and suddenly kissed its head. The cat struggled, but it was useless. This was Fong Ping's world. Bada. The kiss was loud and clear. The cat's face was lifeless. There was despair on its face. There was nothing left to live for. A liar kissed the cat. A liar took advantage of the cat. Meow, the cat meowed miserably, but Fong Ping laughed heartily. Thank you, big cat. Fong Ping was really happy that he had gained important insights from the cat twice. Bada. He gave it another heavy kiss, and the gray cat shrieked again. In the next moment, Fong Ping kicked the cat's butt, kicking the cat out of his world like a football. He curled his lips and said, "That's enough. You stole so much of my origin chi. You're still acting pitiful after kissing you twice." This cat was not a good person. Not only did it steal a lot of his origin chi, but it was also stealing the origin water. Fong Ping was speechless. This was his world. How could he not know? He should just kick it away. The cat that was kicked away flew out of Fong Ping's origin world and muttered a few words. The liar was too much. Playing with cats required benefit. Didn't he know that? This cat let you play with it. I took some of your origin water. You still kicked me. Unreasonable. Chapter 1190. He put away the combat heavenly palace and walked out of the dilapidated ancient building. The moment Fong Ping walked out, Heavenly King Zhen's eyes lit up. He appeared in front of Fong Ping in an instant and slammed his palm toward Fong Ping's chest. Fong Ping subconsciously raised his hand to block. Bang! Fong Ping took dozens of steps back. He could not help but curse, "Old man, what are you doing?" The subduing Heavenly King didn't care what he said and looked at him with a burning gaze. After a long time, his eyebrows twitched. "You've improved again? Even the Ren Huang Dao couldn't be that fast, could it? How did you do it? The strength of your golden body gives this old man the feeling that it's even stronger than ordinary heavenly kings." Fong Ping said matter-of-factly, "I'm a 9th refinement golden body, so of course I'm stronger than them." Even if he did not improve this time, his basic vitality was more than 1.5 million calories. Basic chi and blood actually represented the strength of the golden body. The stronger the golden body, the more chi and blood it could contain. This was inevitable. Therefore, before this, Fong Ping's physique was already stronger than the average Heavenly King. Wasn't Heavenly King Zhen talking nonsense? The subduing Heavenly King looked at him and did not speak for a long time. Something was wrong. There was something wrong with this fellow. Before this, the feeling that Fong Ping gave him was not as strong as it was now. Fong Ping concealed his aura. This was not a problem. As a top-notch expert, Heavenly King Zhen didn't need to rely on his aura to determine anything. He took a quick glance and could sense whether it was strong or not. Elder Zhang rubbed his chin and asked curiously, "What did you do this time?" "Nothing much." Fong Ping swept his gaze around, looked for a while, and asked curiously, "Where are the God-crafting envoy and the rest? Let's go." Zhang Tao shook his head and said, "Not really. These people have their own goals. They won't stay here and wait for us. They have their own things to do. Now they should go and do their own things." Since the Demon Emperor and the Forging God Envoy had entered, they naturally had a purpose. Fong Ping did not care about them. Instead, he said sympathetically, "The water buffalo was taken away?" "Taken away." Old Zhang laughed. "The God Creation Envoy is just a clone. It usually consumes energy to use it. Attaching it to Li Wuji can reduce some of the energy consumption. The water buffalo won't be tortured to death, right?" Fong Ping seriously suspected that if the water buffalo was possessed by the God Creation Envoy, would it purposely run towards the Heavenly Kings? "I'm fine." Heavenly King Zhen did not think it was a big deal. He looked at Fong Ping again. "Kid, don't change the topic. Did you improve again?" Fong Ping chuckled. "Of course I've improved a little. I'm a genius, after all. Of course my improvement isn't slow." Old Zhang also glanced at him and asked, What is your current strength, sage? Sort of. Fong Ping made a rough estimation. If his outburst had reached 4 million calories and above, he would be considered a saint, of course. When he broke 6, he would be a heavenly king. As for breaking 6, actually, it did not matter if Fong Ping's strength did not improve, as long as he could master his own strength on a deeper level. It could be said that he had reached his limit. Breaking 6 was only a matter of time. Some of the old-timers had reached their limit and were unable to advance any further. Their control over their power continued to grow, and if things went on like this, some of the peak sages would have the battle prowess of a heavenly king. The length of a Tao path could only be considered a realm. As for the amount of explosive power, that was the true battle prowess. Whether one possessed the battle prowess of the current stage would vary from person to person. Some powerhouses who had just attained Emperor Realm might not even be as strong as near Emperor Realm powerhouses. The three of them didn't stay where they were. Escaping into the void, Zhang Tao began to explain the situation of Spirit Emperor Dojo to Fong Ping. After listening for a while, Fong Ping asked curiously, "You received benefits from Spirit Emperor?" "That's right." "Your source world has expanded a lot?" "That's right." Fong Ping looked puzzled. He looked at him again and said, "How much has your source world expanded to?" "I mean the diameter." Old Zhang had received benefits from Spirit Emperor, yet his source world did not expand to more than 100 meters? More than 100 meters. But I compressed it. Why? Compression? Fong Ping frowned slightly. Why did you compress it? Old Zhang said matter-of-factly. Why does the source world need to be so big? A big source world consumes too much origin chi. Do you know that a source world with a diameter of 100 meters consumes more origin chi every day than our birth? Not only that, if the source world is too big, it's easy for problems to arise. It's not stable enough. If it's compressed, it'll be more stable. Fong Ping looked at him in surprise, then at Heavenly King Zhen. After a while, he said, "So, there are actually people whose source worlds reached more than 100 meters, but they compressed it themselves?" "I think so." Old Zhang's answer was insincere. Heavenly King Zhen glanced at him and said lightly, "That's right. Under normal circumstances, they would choose to compress it. Firstly, the supply of origin chi is insufficient. Secondly, if it's too big, it'll crack easily." Fong Ping frowned again. He looked at old Zhang and said, "Your source world has expanded to more than 100 meters. Are there any other changes?" "What changes?" Old Zhang did not quite understand. What other changes could there be? Fong Ping fell into deep thought. That was not right. When the source world expanded to 100 meters, he had clearly covered his Tao. Why did old Zhang not? If there was, old Zhang would probably have discovered this problem. 100 meters was very difficult. However, some of the old antiques might not have this opportunity. They had not improved for many years and consolidated their source world. Was there no hope? But why did it seem like no one had taken this path of unification? Am I special? That's not right either. Fong Mao also took this path. Then what's the reason? Why didn't old Zhang have this kind of change? Fong Ping thought hard. Was there any difference between him and Fong Mao and the others? Fong Ping was a little special. He did not open up his Tao at all. But he did it himself. Then, why would there be a different situation? If I'm talking about being special, it's probably because my source world has some origin soil. Fong Mao has it too. However, some powerhouses actually have origin soil too. Could it be that those who have origin soil did not open up 100 meters of the world, and those who don't have origin soil did not have any effect even if they did? That's why this situation is happening now? Fong Ping guessed in his heart. Some people had origin soil, but not many. This kind of thing was considered chicken ribs, but it was very rare. After all, even King Kuan only had that little. It could be said that the divine sect had searched the three realms for this little bit of origin soil. There were some powerhouses, but they were very, very few. And this very small group of people might not have the opportunity to open up their source world to more than 100 meters. Fang Ping did it because of the Saint Token, Old Zhang because of Spirit Emperor's help, and Fang Mao because of tens of thousands of years of accumulation. In that case, perhaps Old Zhang did not succeed because he lacked origin soil? Fang Ping did not know if it was right, but at this moment, he felt that the only difference between him and Old Zhang was the origin soil. He was thinking about something, but Zhang Tao was too lazy to care about him. Soon, he said, this time, we have a few purposes here. First, get the 9 Emperor seals. Second, collect those Saint Tokens and Heavenly King seals, and kill some powerhouses who are extremely hostile to humans. Third, see if we can rope in another group of people to form an alliance with humans. Fourth, speaking of this, Zhang Tao said in a low voice, see if we can revive a heavenly king. What? Fang Ping was surprised. Zhang Tao explained, in the depths of this Spirit Emperor dojo, there is a space battlefield. Obviously, this was left behind after a powerhouse died. Until now, it has not been revived, and it can withstand the battle of many Heavenly King powerhouses. I'm afraid it is also a Heavenly King powerhouse. Based on previous experience, we may need to find the core of this space battlefield, which is also where the real source world is, and we may revive this powerhouse. A Heavenly King. If we take the initiative and revive him, if he is an enemy, we can kill him directly. If he is a friend, we can choose to cooperate. Fang Ping could not help but look at the Sky Garrison King and said, Senior, who is the powerhouse here? There were only a few Heavenly King powerhouses. Who could the Heavenly King who died in ancient times be? Would the Sky Garrison King not know? There was a space battlefield here, and it was very powerful. Obviously, the person who died back then would not be too weak. The space battlefield where Hong Yu was previously was also very powerful, but it did not seem to be able to withstand the battle of Heavenly Kings, which meant that even Hong Yu was not as strong as the other party. Such a Heavenly King could not be the strongest after breaking 8, right? The Sky Garrison King shook his head and said, the person is dead, and the origin has not been found. The space battlefield is also very quiet. It is difficult for me to determine who it is. Unless we find the core origin, I may be able to identify who it is. Senior, you know a little about the powerhouse from ancient times, right? Don't you have any guesses? Previously, I thought it was Feng, the Sky Garrison King said casually. I was thinking, whose origin is so strong, Feng might be possible. But after thinking about it, it doesn't seem right. Feng seemed to have run away a long time ago. Could it be that he was killed by mistake? Now that Feng has appeared, naturally it is not Feng. Thinking of this, the Sky Garrison King said again, there is a origin world and a space battlefield, so it should not be a beginner powerhouse, but a powerhouse from the 3 realms. The owner of this space battlefield is most likely at Breaking 7, Breaking 8. Breaking 8 is not so easy to kill. A Heavenly King with Breaking 7 strength. The Sky Garrison King seemed to be reminiscing and said after some consideration, back then, there were not many people with Breaking 7 strength. Even King Qian seemed to be slightly lacking, and the Extreme Path bloodline only had Feng 7. The 9 Sovereigns. The Sky Garrison King said in a low voice, there are many powerhouses under the 9 Sovereigns, some with Heavenly King strength. But as for Breaking 7, I don't think there is anyone who broke through secretly, but the chances are not high because there is no need. Thinking of this, the Sky Garrison King could not help but say, could it be the Weapon Master? Among the 3 emissaries, the Palm Seal emissary was probably completely dead. The Sea Garrison emissary was still alive and active. The strongest Weapon Master of the 3 back then, could it be him? Old Zhang said with a strange expression, Aren't you the weapon master's disciple, Li Yu? Don't you know your master's situation? Get lost. The Sky Garrison King scolded. You are Li Yu. Your whole family is Li Yu. Is Li Yu stronger than me? Back then, Li Yu only had the strength of a saint. How could he have the combat strength of a heavenly king? Weapon master, Fong Ping could not be bothered with the two old fellows' quarrel. He frowned and said, what was the weapon master's attitude towards humans back then? Will he kill humans once he revives? That fellow, the Sky Garrison King, was still very familiar with the weapon master. He said after some consideration, this fellow actually left the core of the heavenly realm a long time ago. When the heavenly court established the 8 kings, he was considered to be living in seclusion. He did not participate in the things that happened after that. When the heavenly realm war broke out, I did not see him then, but many people died that day. The sky fell and the earth split. I did not notice if he was involved or if he died. The situation was too chaotic at that time. He really did not see him, but he guessed that he might have died. This was because the weapon master was more traditional, similar to those generals who were loyal to the emperor. Although the heavenly court reduced his military power, at a critical moment, when the heavenly court was in trouble, that fellow was very likely to participate. If that was the case, the probability of him dying in battle was higher. The Sky Garrison King said again, whether it is or not, we will know once we find the origin core. If it is a weapon master, I should be able to recognize him. He and I have a good relationship. He might be of help to the humans. If the Sky Garrison King did not have a good relationship with him, he would not have pretended to be his disciple. Fong Ping nodded. If that was the case, the space battlefield here was very likely to be a weapon master. There were actually not many people who had the ability to break through 7 levels. If they had broken through 8 levels, there were even fewer Origin Dao cultivators. Most of them were beginner martial artists. As for beginner martial artists, even if they died, there would not be a space battlefield left behind. This meant that the probability of this place breaking through 7 levels was higher. Zhang Tao continued, resurrecting the Heavenly King. I'm afraid others are thinking about this too. But these people's main focus is to get the 9 Emperor Seals, so we can put the 9 Emperor Seals aside for now. The other thing is Hong Yu. If Hong Yu is really the Earthly Emperor's avatar, this fellow's secret is huge. The Earthly Emperor's avatar could deceive the 3 realms for 3,000 years. This was not a simple matter. Hong Yu might really know the Earthly Emperor's whereabouts. If the Earthly Emperor is dead, then there's nothing to say. If he's not dead, Hong Yu might know where the Earthly Emperor is sleeping. Right now, many people are eyeing the Emperor. Fong Ping frowned. Isn't the Emperor in the Sky Cemetery? Zhang Tao shrugged. Don't ask me, I don't know. He looked at the Sky Garrison King. This old fellow might know about this. The Sky Garrison King said without batting an eyelid, the 9 emperors and 4 emperors might have their remains in the Sky Cemetery, but it doesn't mean that all of them are there. There was not one battlefield back then, but many. The Sky Cemetery can only be said to be the core area of the war, but not all of the battlefields. Fong Ping was about to continue speaking when the Sky Garrison King waved his hand. Don't ask any more. You will know when the time comes. Now that the Sky Dog and the others have gone to the Sky Cemetery, I'm afraid there will be chaos soon. Fong Ping frowned. There are enemies in the Sky Cemetery? Yes. Of course, it's hard to say if they are enemies, but there will definitely be powerhouses. The Sky Garrison King was silent for a while, then added, many people participated in the war back then. Not to mention the others, there were many powerhouses from the first martial lineage. These people are very powerful. Their vitality is actually more tenacious than the Origin Path martial artists. The Origin Path martial artists can be resurrected, and so can they. Some beginner martial artists, such as martial artists who have achieved Tao with their bodies, As long as there is some blood and bones left behind, they can be resurrected. Some powerhouses who have achieved Tao through mentality can also be resurrected if there is a wisp of mentality left behind. Beginner martial artists cultivate themselves. They have their own specialties. If their vitality is not tenacious, how can they compete with the powerhouses of the origin path? The sky dog died in the sky cemetery back then. It might have been caused by some of the resurrected people. Why did they want to kill the sky dog? The sky garrison king was speechless. He said impatiently, "Nonsense. The sky cat and the sky dog are in cahoots. There is a rumor that when the sky cat died, the great path collapsed. This great path refers to the origin path. Back then, that guy from the cat palace died because he fought with the powerhouses from the first martial lineage. The first martial lineage was defeated in the battle for Great Path, allowing the rise of the origin path. They have always been unwilling to accept it. Some people targeted the sky cat. The sky dog and the sky cat are in cahoot. If they do not kill the sky dog, who should they kill? The sky dog had already broken through 8. If such a powerhouse does not die, how can they deal with the sky cat? Fong Ping understood. Finally, he asked another question. If the sky cat is dead, will the great path really collapse? Who knows? It's not dead, is it? The sky garrison king said casually, "Why don't you try killing it? Maybe it will collapse." During the heavenly realm, the sky cat was attacked and was seriously injured. Its great path almost collapsed. It was also at that time that the great path of the heavenly realm roared, causing a great impact. That's why the guy from the cat palace later died, and the sky cat still has someone to protect it. Why the sky cat? How would I know? The sky garrison king was afraid of dealing with these people. There were especially many questions. At this moment, he said impatiently, it might be related to the origin universe. The origins of the sky cat and the sky dog might also be related to this silent world. The one from the cat palace might know a little. The 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors might also know a little. The leader of the beginner martial artists might also know a lot. However, I was just a ranger back then. Do you know what a ranger is? According to the saying back then, I was a rogue cultivator. How would I know these things? Didn't your master tell you? As soon as these words came out, the sky garrison king suddenly turned to look at Fong Ping. Fong Ping said without batting an eyelid, "Didn't your master say that you've already surpassed your master? Your master is the leader of the beginner martial artists, right?" Old Zhang looked at Fong Ping strangely. Sure. This kid really knew a lot of things. Even Old Devilly was provoked. Old Devilly had a master. He did not even know about this. The sky garrison king frowned. After a while, he snorted softly. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Don't say what you shouldn't say. There are some things that you guys don't know a fart. Yes, I have a master. He is indeed a beginner martial artist and also the leader of the beginner martial artists. However, beginner martial artists are also in the state of the top 100 contending for hegemony. Let's put it this way. At that time, martial arts had just appeared. Countless geniuses appeared. Each one of them was a lineage. It's not an exaggeration to say that the beginner martial artists contended for hegemony. Including the origin Tao that came later, it was also the beginner martial artists. The 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors had all experienced the beginner martial era. They were also considered the descendants of beginner martial artists. Tao was passed down from beginner martial artists. Among us, who doesn't have a beginner martial artist as a teacher? The sky garrison king looked slightly sad. In that era, it wasn't just me. Was the 9 sovereigns self-taught? That's not it either. They also had masters and seniors to teach them. Who were these seniors? Beginner martial artists. In that era, the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors were considered rising stars. Of course, they needed guidance. These people also had beginner martial heritage. Just like this era, it was actually also the intersection point of paleo martial arts and neo-martial arts. The creation of neo-martial arts did not mean that martial arts came out of nowhere. Fong Ping, Old Man Li, and the others also had martial heritage. Your master is dead? I think so. The Sky Garrison King said lightly. It's been so many years. It's normal for him to die. The situation was chaotic back then. Who knows who was alive and who was dead? Let's not talk about this. The Sky Garrison King changed the topic. Kid, what are you going to do first? Rob. Both of them looked at him with a strange expression. Rob the saint, rob the saint's token. Fong Ping said matter-of-factly, the saint's token is good stuff. While others are robbing the 9 sovereigns' seal, we'll rob the saint's token first. Having said that, Fong Ping chuckled. For example, the Heavenly Emperor Ping Yu, the evil sect's 3 great protectors, they can all be robbed. The Heavenly Emperor Ping Yu was not dead. As the master of the 4 Brahmas, his strength had already reached the saint level. On the fake sky grave side, only 1 saint had died until now, Luofu Mountain's venerable Emperor Qing Jing. Fong Ping still despised these heavenly kings. How did they do things? More than 10 heavenly king powerhouses were here, and only 1 saint had died until now. It was really embarrassing. If I were here, the world would have been turned upside down long ago. If I don't kill dozens of saints and a few heavenly kings, is this considered stirring up trouble? Zhang Tao glanced at him and said quickly, Okay, then let's rob the saint's token first. The Sky Garrison King was tired, a guy who wished for the world to be in chaos. He hoped that he would not cause trouble. Those heavenly kings were not idiot. If Fong Ping really wanted to keep attacking and killing saints, these people would definitely not sit idly by. At the same time, the outside world, the catacombs' heavenly court. A skinny old man walked into the heavenly court, looking like a piece of rotten wood. The heavenly court's treasure hall. At this moment, a few saints were present. The old man entered the door. His voice was hoarse, like a malicious spirit, slightly sharp. Congratulations on the reconstruction of the heavenly court. The Sky Sword and the others looked solemn and did not speak. The skinny old man continued. Heavenly Dog and the others entered the sky grave, while the others were trapped in the fake sky grave. If the heavenly court wants to restore its former rule, this is the best time. The governor looked at the old man and said in a low voice, What can I do for you? Can you fight against a heavenly king? The few of them were silent. How can a saint's combat strength fight against a heavenly king? The old man said sharply, What's the biggest difference between a saint and a heavenly king? The amplification of the origin. The governor understood and frowned. You want to kill that cat? Don't forget, we're also on the Tao of origin. If we kill that cat, once the Tao collapses, we'll be at the mercy of others. That's not right, the old man panted. When the Tao collapses, the stronger you are, the more you'll be affected. Without the amplification of a heavenly king, is there a huge gap between a saint and a heavenly king? This is an opportunity to narrow the gap in strength. The ones who benefit are the Chu Wu lineage. The governor replied coldly. The old man panted again and said, Not necessarily. The Chu Wu lineage has ended, and there are not many who are still alive. We appeared again because we are unwilling. If the Tao collapses, you will only be stronger if you switch to Chu Wu lineage. Everyone frowned. The Sky Sword frowned and said, If the cat dies, the Tao might not collapse. Try. That cat has already brought you a lot of trouble. If it really doesn't collapse, killing this cat will not affect you at all. It will only be beneficial and there will be no disadvantages. The old man panted and said, If it collapses, a golden age will begin. A new Tao will appear. Even if the emperor appears, everyone will have a chance. Now, will there really be a chance? We'll think about it again. The saints looked at each other and did not say anything else. The old man did not mind. He slowly retreated and said, "We'll wait for you." You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.